go. Hot pants, hot pants. Hot pants, hot pants. Hot pants. Gotta share it. Ding. Is that my computer telling me that I went live? Is that what that is? Is that what just happened there? That'd be an interesting thing. Doo-doo. But Ren, let me get this shared and all that kind of stuff. And OG Geek, what's up, buddy? What's up, Mike? Let me get it shared and we'll get going. Get going. All right. Move that to that monitor. Mike, can you hear me okay? Jedi, what's up? I think this is the first time I've live streamed, or can everybody hear me okay? I think this is the first time I've live streamed since I did all of my desk setup. So like my, that's good. So like my microphone that's, you can see the, whatever that thing is called, sticking right there, is beside me, because if I turn this way, that's where my two work computers are, and I have to be on Skype all the time for those. So they are there. But I have like a hot switch so I can move it around. So all three computers sitting here can access it. Let me turn that light down behind me. That's probably distracting. It's a shame, too, because it looked really cool if you could see what it was doing. But, oh, it's just white. Well, I don't want it to be just white. Maybe that's the situation. What if I do that one? No? Ah! That's not what we want. Let's just make it a color. I can make it bounce when I talk. How about that? Yeah, we can do that. And just turn to hello. There we go. We'll just do it like that. Sorry, that's probably loud in your ear. Just let me get equipped here and we'll get rolling. I appreciate already 23 people. Wow. Let me do this on the gram. If you want to come say hello to me, there's me. Look, me. Come say hello on my YouTube channel. All right, let's get rolling. Welcome, Mike Jedi, Ren, H Green, Sam King Dingaling. No chainmail top. I don't want to wear chainmail. Paul, Austin, Jim, Jedi. I'm going in deep on some comics lately. That's good. I think I saw your most recent post, Ren. So I just thought, I know it's hard. Everything's hard right now. It doesn't matter where you are in the country, in the world. Things are hard right now. And I try, as you know, to be sensitive to all peoples and things that everybody's dealing with. And I can only imagine right now that for folks that already struggle mentally, from a mental health perspective. What's up, Drew? If you struggle with anxiety, if you struggle with other stress, mental health things, loneliness, that all of this is probably really hard for you. And when it's such a fever pitch, I can only speak for myself. My work is unlike anything I've ever dealt with in my professional career. Over the last 2 weeks, I put in 150 hours at work, maybe more. I worked this morning. I had to work most of the day yesterday. And it's basically morning until bed. And, I have a different situation. I have around 450 employees across the country, and I take that very seriously. And in a situation like this, they need to be comfortable. They need to be calm. They need to have peace. They also need clear direction. They don't need to wonder what the heck is going on. And so you got to manage the brain as well as the body. So I've also felt like some of you folks here, some of my friends, some of the Dub Life audience, whoever you are, Might be in the same place, compensate you. That may be the only time you see people, right? You may not have a lot of friends locally. You may be introverted. You may whatever, right? You just may struggle to see people, and there's only so long we can go as humans without like having some connection with another person. So I felt like it would be a nice thing to do for us to connect here, since we're supposed to be socially distancing, which I agree with. And I don't want, in fact, I will kick you out of this really quickly. And mods, I see Mike, you're here, and Drew. If I have any of my other friends that mod for me in here, if people start talking about political stuff or putting silliness in there, just boot them out. We don't have time for that. There's enough other things to disrupt you mentally. So I just wanted this to be something nice. If you remember, I did it, I think, last year on Valentine's Day, just as I felt like it might be a nice thing to do for the community. So I don't know how long we will stream. Decent amount of time, probably. Not just 10 minutes. So we can talk about whatever. I don't have a lot of toy stuff to talk about, so we can answer questions. We can try to talk about the current situation if that's what you would like to talk about, or find other things. I know there's a lot of questions about like how all of this, like with the opening statement of we all understand this is really hard. There's people dying. There's people losing their jobs. There's a lot of really challenging things. You can also be curious as to like, how does this impact Marvel Legends distribution? It's okay to like wonder that, be curious about that, things like that. Like that's okay. It doesn't mean you're minimizing that, somebody else might be sick. It just means you're curious, right? Now you shouldn't like prioritize that and it's the end of the world if I don't get my Marvel Legends on time, but it's okay to ask that question. So we can try to talk about things like that. I don't have any inside information. I just have information like understanding the way my workplace is working and the way like supply chains work and things like that. So anyway, let's see what people are talking about. DTM, Double Life is another good one today. I appreciate that. Go ahead. No, everybody I'm sure is tired. Double Life was, I hope you enjoyed it today. Or if you've watched it yet. It was fun. We got to go see Steve. Victoria got to meet Lucy. We spent some time with Grayson on camera a little bit, which I don't think I've done that before. I tend to, not really put my kids on camera unless they really want to be and their parents are okay with it. I know Drew's kids have been on camera here and there. So that was fun. We had fun with Steve. And in fact, that episode, so when we left Steve, when Victoria and I left Steve, that is 15 days ago. That's the last time I've seen any of my friends. Now, I've certainly had quite a chaotic period of time here recently, which we'll talk about in a minute. Let me see. No, you're good, Mike. Hey, write your main PhD thesis, Sam. Hey, I mean, there's a lot of things. I think Home Depot's still out of a lot of stuff, but if you can go to Home Depot, do some household projects. There's things you can do. College student. I mean, I think most colleges have basically said don't come back and you're going to go online for a period of time. I think you can expect that to continue. I mean, so much of that isn't already online. Yeah, Black Widow Wave, that was probably already in Walmart's warehouses. That's probably already ready. The way supply chains run or whoever's warehouses. It's going to be things that have to be tooled in the Chinese factories. Now, I believe, at least from Apple's, what Apple has said, that their factories that help manufacture the iPhone are back up to close to full capacity. I would think that would be similar in like Hasbro's factories and the other toy factories in China. So that probably means they are finally where they can produce where they're at. So however far behind that was, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I think you can expect everything to run a minimum of that far behind. But then there's going to be stuff that gets prioritized, right? Like if the same factory makes Marvel Legends that also makes, a face mask, that's possible. Then it may get delayed. I don't know. I mean, you can expect. I mean, Sideshow basically sent me emails that said everything you've ordered from us is delayed, and we don't know when it's coming. That's in essence what it said. I know Tweeterhead did the same thing, and that's fair. Like they don't know. How would they know? Just like we don't know. SDCC being canceled. I think anything that is like May and beyond, they're going to wait. So the way, like in my workplace, the first thing that happened was our travel got frozen until the end of March. So that was like the first look. And then last week it got frozen to the end of April. So I think there people are trying to take things a month at a time. I think pretty much now all events except for WrestleMania somehow have been canceled, all major events through April. I think once you get into May, I don't think you'll see that start to happen until we get closer to April. I think everybody's got to try to be cautious. So things like the summer conventions, I think a lot of that is dependent on, are there still net new cases being found in the country every day? As long as our number is going up of confirmed cases, nobody's going to reverse course right now. You can't take that chance. You can't get somebody sick. It's not worth it. Frank, what's up? The Indo Nerd, what up? Got aim suit done down them legends around head. I hear you. I think the Red Hulk and Target either. I haven't really looked hard, but I've been to Target a couple times. I know a lot of people are finding a lot of them though. Brendan, thank you. Yeah, that was a good. I had to do a couple bundle negotiations for that. I was pleased with that. Indo Nerds at Work. That's in September. It's because it's an international thing, and so they have the pressure from like the film industry too. Like we're not sending our people there. E3 the same way. Like all over the world, all these video game developers, all these companies are going to come in. Sony already doesn't go to E3. I think maybe Microsoft may have already said they weren't going to go to E3. I don't think Nintendo goes to E3. Maybe they do. I think they just do their directs. But all those developers, that it's not just America, it's the whole world. And they can't determine what's going to happen with that. So, a lot of that stuff can already be virtual anyway. It certainly has a big impact, not to minimize that, but I think that's the area of discussion. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that were bad, but we're not going to do any mongering like that. It's not worth it. What is my favorite one-up cabinet? The Turtles arcade one-up is my favorite. I also like the Mortal Kombat one a lot. That's the first one I actually paid full price for. Well, arcade one-up is something I can talk about. Hey, what's up, One Man Toy Show? Black Widow, Frank O, is almost assuredly going to get delayed. Almost assuredly. I think it's any day. This week, I believe they'll delay that. It's not like, I'm sure production is finished, but they're not going to let that bomb, and people aren't going to go to the movies. So they're not let that bomb, especially overseas. So I can almost assuredly that's going to be delayed. Top Gun, I don't remember when that was going to come out, but like everything else has got delayed. And a lot of that is not people worried about infection in the movie theater. It's that they know people aren't going to go, and they can't risk it. They can't take that hit to the pocketbook on whatever the budget of Black Widow is, $200 million or whatever. But so arcade one up, it looks like they've pivoted to not selling at Walmart and Target anymore. I think Walmart, the key one. The NBA Jam cabinet went up for pre-order. It was only available through GameStop and Best Buy, only online, not in store. And then you could buy it through Arcade One-Up's website. Then they had the Burger Time that was only through their website, and the Frogger that was only through their website and GameStop, not in stores. Very expensive too. Have to get the riser and a stool, $500. Very disappointing. For me, probably means I won't get those because most of these I bought for less than $100. I bought on clearance. And that's because I go to Walmart and people don't buy them. And then the Walmart store manager says, get these huge things out of there. Enough. I've had enough. And so some of them I go for $20. So now you have to pre-order it. You have to pay $500 for it. Maybe they're making them to order even. I don't know. I ain't doing it. I'm not paying $500 for NBA Jam. I want the NBA Jam cabinet. I ain't paying $500. Not happening. So my arcade one-up collection may be over if these don't start going into places where they can go on sale, or if the GameStop doesn't put them on sale or whatever. But they have to do what they have to do for a company. I understand. I imagine what happens like at the first when they introduced them at Toy Fair, Walmart and Target and whoever else sold them in store. They have to buy them. Like they probably bought them at Toy Fair. Like we make an order and we're going to have, 2 of each unit for all of our stores in the United States or whatever. They're going to guarantee like a 20,000 unit pre-order. So they make them, they send them out. If they get clearance, Walmart is the one that gets foot with the bill. Arcade 1-Up's been paid, right? That's what happens in situations like this. The retailer foots the bill. The retailer takes it in the shorts, but the other company's already been paid. But then what happens is Walmart's not going to order again. They're not at this year's toy fair. They're not going to say, "Oh, sure, sign us up for more of the stuff that we're going to lose $300 on." That's what I think happened. That's my guess. I have no firsthand knowledge. Just my guess. And so, which hopefully maybe direct to consumer is the way to go for them. I don't know who's going to keep paying $500 though. The fact that they pack stuff in and they raise the price point, a common retail strategy. So Big Dub, why is that common retail strategy? Well, you know what? Here's a white Black Widow. We'll give you some of these effects that we gave with the Stormtrooper and Iron Man or whatever, and we'll make it $25 or $30 instead of $20. Throw in some stuff that's cheap, that has big price margins on it, and make it more expensive, and people buy it anyway. I think that's what Arcade 1-Up's doing, which may be an indication they're in trouble. I hope not, because I like their products, but I don't like them. At $500, we're talking about like you can buy a full arcade. Let's see. Carnage, do you have any suggestions on buying my first hot toy? Buy one that Sideshow has sitting there right now. If you've got the money, buy one that they'll discount. They may have free shipping. I have to believe Sideshow is going to start running some coupon codes and things right now to get people to buy stuff. If you want to pre-order one, Carnage, what's your price range and what genre? I know the new Battle Damage Thanos that they put up for pre-order like a month ago looks unbelievable. Now he's more expensive. He's like a $350, maybe $400 one because he's huge. But he looks fantastic. That'd be one I'd pre-order, and you can make payments on it if you'd like to do that. I don't know what they have available right now. They haven't sold out of a lot of stuff recently because that bubble, as you've heard me talk about, is kind of burst. Simpsons Arcade wouldn't be hard. I'd have to. I want it to. I want the NBA Jam one. Represented for Canada, the Blockbuster World Video Game Championships for $4 NBA Jam. The cool thing about that NBA Jam is it has some type of Wi-Fi chip in it, Wi-Fi card, and you can play online with other people that own the NBA Jam. Like, I don't know if it's like how regionally locked it is, and not service-based. That's super cool. Not $500. Cool. I got a text message. Let me check real quick. Short pants. Hot pants in the ears. So let's see. They need to make a WrestleFest. WrestleFest might get me to pay $500, to be honest. If they make one that was NBA Jam, WrestleFest, and Simpsons, boom, $500. I'm in. Those are all different licensors, so that's practically impossible. Cut back on Marvel Legends. I think a lot of people have cut back on Marvel Legends. I know in my circle of friends, almost nobody's buying Marvel Legends anymore. A couple. Steve still buys some here and there. Not many. I think everybody's kind of moved to other things. Especially, there's a lot, as you know, in my circle of friends, we got babies, we got weddings, lots of travel, we got big vacations, like people using their money for other stuff. So Legends are not a priority for a lot of folks anymore, at least in my circle of friends. Am I getting the new Animal Crossing for Switch? Probably. I'm not getting the Animal Crossing actual Switch console, but the game itself, yes. Animal Crossing is a fun thing to play right now. Space Invaders, $75. Yeah, Space Invaders is a good one. I have it right there. We had fun with the arcade. If you remember episode 69 when OG Geek was here, and a lot of the friends. BJ, I think I saw you. Say what's up, man. When everybody was here a couple weeks ago. That's longer than a couple weeks ago now, but a couple weeks ago of an episode for you. We had a great time, and the arcade got lots of views. Chris, what's up, man? I think I saw you. Yep. Yeah, the Turtles in Time is wonderful. wonderful. They take up a lot of space. As you guys seen, if you watch the channel and you watched us build that arcade, it was a lot. I mean, it took us a long time to build that, and I, you know, we're a little extra, but I think it looks great. It looks great. I mean, yeah. I mean, yes. You can also buy a lot of things cheaper than the price of a Marvel Legend too, that are different. I mean, it's not a Arcade 1-Up is not. You're not buying it for the game. Most of those ROMs are available. You're buying it for the display presence. It's awesome. Like as a collective looking piece, it rounds out a room, and you get the experience, and you get the fun factor with your friends. Like at my age, like a lot of people ain't interested in coming over to play Xbox. I'm like, I'll play Xbox at my own house. We can get on the headphones. They might come play the arcade, but not $500. But I mean, I don't think the price point is wrong. I think the price point is wrong for me because I try to get them all, and I can't keep doing that. Marvel 1-Up one is really good too. It looks awesome. The visuals on that. Pre-order Mandalorian and heavy interest. The hot toy. I got the Mandalorian pre-ordered and the sideshow Baby Yoda statue. I don't think not put up the figure themselves. They're probably in a. I mean, they're in Hong Kong, so they're probably in a pretty significant issue right now. But I'll probably get that. Maybe they put it up. I don't think they did. IE, what's up, bud? I'm looking at the Hot Toys Iron Man Mark 7 stealth mode for 220 used. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the stealth is a kind of a obscure one, but it's a plastic Iron Man Carnage, and they've been making the die-cast ones for some time now, but they're expensive. You might be able to get a die-cast Mark II for 300. I don't know. I think I haven't looked at the market in a while. They have the diecast Iron Man Mark 47 back up for pre-order, the one from Spider-Man that at one point was worth like $2,500. I think that's like $340. I mean, I've got plenty of plastic Hot Toys Iron Man, but the diecast, I mean, that's touching it, you know, way up there. Way up there. What is my count up to of Mythic Legions? Just whatever the last haulish. I mean, like 20. I'm not going to get a lot of those. I really, all I want is the green ones. I did get those, a few elves and a few dwarves, but I'm not going to chase after. I think I have all the elves that have been released. I have all the goblins that have been released. That, yes. I have like 4 dwarves. And then I've got a bunch of like, what are they, troll ogres and orcs. I want all the green ones. That's really what I want only is the green ones. And then I ended up buying elves. And Josh gave me some, and which I'm very thankful for, and gave me some prizes. So I got the elves and the dwarves. I'd like to get the other dwarves, but I'm not paying anywhere close. If I can't buy it at a retail price, I'm not getting it with Mythic Legions. I will never back off of that. They are not anywhere close to worth $200-$300 what some of that stuff is. Kryptonian Saturn, what's up? Ask about what's on the table. That is so I've got Mezco Far From Home Spider-Man, the Mezco Deluxe that just came out, and the first part, I think it's the first half of my boss fight, the Vitruvian Hacks Horsies. Excuse me. I was an all-in backer on their Kickstarter, which at this stage was like 2016. I don't know when that Kickstarter was. One moment. Work stuff. So it's the Horsies, the Vitruvian Hacks. I probably won't open them because it's a lot, and I don't have everything yet. But it's like the tack kits. I don't have any of the mini gear kits. I think I have all 9 of the Horsies I got. All my hacks are in a closet. I don't have them on display right now, so I'll have to probably do it on a video, but we may look at them later. We might can open the Spider-Man later too. But they look awesome. I have not had Vitruvian Hacks on display in a long time, but it makes me want to get them back on display. I didn't sell them, fortunately. But they look really good. I want to get some more. I almost ordered some more from the website, and I stopped. Don't need any more yet. Let me use the ones I got. Comic and Star Wars 3 3/4 cake. Well, if you were on a Star Wars 3 3/4 cake, you could have bought a wonderful collection from Mr. Pence because he was selling his 3 3/4, a bunch of stuff. So hopefully you took advantage of that sale from Josh. Postpone MegaCon, yep, SuperCon. I mean, it's just, yeah, nothing is going to happen that's going to happen in March or April. Just assume. Like, I can't believe WrestleMania hasn't been canceled. I'm sure the city is going to cancel it. I don't know. That was just YouTube telling me that I am now live on my channel. Whatever. Think about selling most of, if not all, and take the money and buy Mezco, DC comic figs, and more SH figures. David, what are you talking about selling? Marvel Legends. A lot of people have done that. I think you'll regret that. Figure arts right now you can get really cheap. People have kind of moved on from those as well. They used to be really hard to get and really expensive. But now, like since like the Infinity War stuff, unless they were Tamashii Web exclusive, but even the recent Tamashii Web exclusive stuff, you can get pretty cheap, below retail, I think, in a lot of cases. I have not opened a figure art in a long time. I got a big pile of them upstairs, and I don't know. They're just not doing it for me. Actually, it's the 12th scale is not doing it for me as much right now. So I don't know. You can get them at a good price. Ryan, my thoughts on the new McFarlane figs. I like some of them. I like McFarlane stuff. I've been collecting McFarlane Walking Dead forever and ever. I mean, I probably have 1,000 McFarlane figures in my collection, probably some ridiculous number like that. McFarlane, I think, nails like art and sculpts and things like that. Like, I know people are like, we don't do the same articulation, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I have got however many thousands of figures in my collection, and I ain't touched one of them in like 2 weeks. I certainly hadn't reposed one of them in months. You know, you get it, you play with it when you have it. I try to take some pictures, you put it on the shelf. Then it's basically a statue until you decide to get it down again. So articulation doesn't bother me that much. I think they look good. I think the Batman Who Laughs looks excellent. Like he's going to do a lot of the metal ones based on some leaks of some SKUs. So like Dawnbreaker and Red Death and some of those, which are awesome. Nobody's made those. I think the two like big ones, like the Robot Batman, Robot Superman, or the Mechs or whatever they were called, I thought they looked good. Person, I'm not getting any of them. I'm not getting any stuff in that kind of genre anymore. But I think they look pretty good, to be honest with you. Some are not as good. The vehicle, the like little Bat Raptor, that was like $30. That's a great value. I think they'll start to take off, especially if he's making the more obscure characters. I know people are like, why does he make it this scale and not another scale? There's got to be a reason that DC products keep getting made at a like 1/10 scale instead of 1/12. And maybe that's what DC orders. And maybe that there's some type of licensing thing with that. B, if you've been collecting DC for a long time, most of your DC stuff is already that scale. And why people are in such a hurry of well, my Batman doesn't work well with my Marvel Legends. Well, I mean, that's your own conversation. I don't know why you need Batman to be with Wolverine so badly, but if that's what you need. It's what you need. But there's got to be a reason they're not doing it. I mean, I don't think this is just unilaterally ignoring. I think there's probably something to do with the way DC has to make things or chooses to make things from the license. Xbox Live servers are down. Ooh, that's rough. Ooh. That's rough. It's going to be they don't need things like that to happen. If Netflix servers go down, it's going to be like, people are going to be quite sad. Chris, I don't think you're going to have the option to go to WrestleMania, man. They're going to cancel it. I mean, even if they do it, they can't do it with 80,000 fans unless they're ready to pay the lawsuit. So I know, like, in a lot of cases, this is what's happening. When an event needs to be canceled, companies that host the event are looking at their insurance clauses, right? This happened with South by Southwest. And they're going, okay, if we got to cancel it and we got to issue all these refunds and we're going to lose all this money because we're not going to host the event, what does our insurance cover us for? And we all live in this same position, right? You look at your health insurance and you go, I'm not feeling good. And I'm not talking about right now with coronavirus. That's different. Just generally speaking, I'm not feeling good. And you go, well, if I go to the doctor today, it's going to cost me $200. But in 2 weeks, I have my physical. My physical's free. And if I tell them I don't feel good at the free visit, they'll prescribe me medicine. I got to pay. That's the same thing that's happening right now with these events. They're looking at their insurance and they're trying to determine if we cancel it, will our insurance pay? If that answer is no, they're hoping the government cancels it because then typically the insurance would pay. So what's happening right now is WWE does not have an insurance clause that will pay them to offset the losses from not running WrestleMania. That's just what I believe. I don't know this. And they're hoping that the city of Tampa, the state of Florida, something declares a state of emergency, whatever, then they can't run and then they get paid in the insurance. That's what I think is happening. I'm almost positive that's what's happening. South by Southwest, out of Austin, right, Texas, they stated when they canceled that their insurance clause did not pay. They did not have a clause for health pandemic. And thus, they just the organization is out all the money. That's what I think they're waiting for. What's up, Steve? So I think what WWE is hoping is that Tampa will cancel it so that they can make their insurance clause. If it gets down to the wire, they'll have to do it anyway. I can't imagine the litigation that it would open them up to. David helped me find a deal on Figma Samson Link. Oh, those are great. I have both of those figures. Those are great. I like the Figma Nintendo stuff. Marvel Legends Rogue. Yeah, the Rogue is ever since the X-Men came back to Disney, the X-Men stuff has been selling well. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see you, Kent. I saw you say that earlier. I was hoping to see everybody at Toylanta. I mean, we were going. That was my plan. We were going to be there the full weekend like normal. I mean, you've seen my last several Toylanta. I've been to a bunch of Toylantas. You've seen the last couple pretty documented. I know David and Donis and I had plans to all be hanging out there together, but I wasn't going to go even if they didn't cancel it. I got too many people. So I've got people that have just had newborn babies. I have parents that are older. I have people in my life that have immunocompromised situations. And even if I didn't feel like I would get sick, I could carry it and get someone else sick. And I mean, it's not worth it. So I wasn't going to go anyway, but we've been talking in group chats and stuff that I'm in. We'll just throw our own something. We'll do it at my house. We'll have DubCon at some point when this is all come through and everybody can come play arcades and look at toys and whatever. And we'll do something for all of us that we're going to get together at Toylanta. So Kent, if you can make it to that, you'll be invited. Brandon, what's up? Picked up a 9-cubicle display from my Mezco Gomez and DC collection. I like the Gomez's. I need to get the Shadow Assassin ones from Asia, but they are too expensive. Trying to catch up on anything I've missed. David, what's up, man? Thank you. I do think the McFarlane Mortal Kombat Spawn looks good. I think all those McFarlane Mortal Kombat have been pretty good looking figures. Buy McFarlane toys since the 90s. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are picking and choosing with those McFarlane DC stuff because fortunately they're going to do characters we haven't seen and that can't sit. Like McFarlane will do stuff that publicly traded companies can't do. Like Hasbro probably or Mattel couldn't make a Batman Who Laughs, or it'd be hard. McFarlane can do it. He doesn't have to listen to stockholders. Josie, what's up? Seductive Steve in the house. Steve, have you watched yourself slurp the noodles seductively on today's episode? Peepo, hello. We don't need stuff like this. I don't care if it's joking or not. We're not going to have silliness in the chat. Super 7 Ultimates Thundercats line. I have it pre-ordered. The Super 7 Ultimates line are definitely speaking to me with Thundercats and with Turtles. I have both waves of both of them pre-ordered. Who knows when we're going to get them, but I think they look awesome. I think a lot of those first wave, at least, of the Super 7 Thundercats are kind of redecos of the like Natty Collector ones. Am I right about that? But was on. Have any of you been disrupted at your workplace yet? I'm curious, like those of you that are workers, do I have anyone out there that actually have to manage this crisis the way I am, where like you have workers, you have to put business continuity plans in place? Like, is anybody doing that kind of stuff, or are you more being impacted instead of the one like leading a lot of it? Curious. I don't know the makeup of my viewers. A lot going on. A lot going on in the world. Let's see. Oh, we might live stream. I don't know. I mean, like when we got together for all the things we celebrated in episode 69, we were never going to live stream, and I actually didn't record nearly as much as you would think because we just want to celebrate with our friends. Like, you know, one of the things is if I'm always holding this up, which I hold it up quite a bit, you're getting more hours of content per week from me than most people, I would say. You don't get to interact with your friends as much. So, you know, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Depends on the mood. Depends on the mood. DubCon, yeah. No, we're going to make it happen. Tom, what's up? Andrew. Well, Andrew, I put it on Facebook. I put it in the Facebook group. I put it on Instagram. And I asked a poll like 2 hours ago. But I didn't know I was going to. But I know I have employees and friends in my circle that are struggling with loneliness right now, struggling with the isolation, struggling with just all of this. And I haven't talked to people much, haven't seen a person. So I thought maybe I could help out a little bit before Westworld. Reach out. Let's see. Yeah, you can get a press pass. You got to submit an application. Slide in my DMs. Yeah, we're certainly going to see online schooling across the country. I mean, there is no return to normal after this in the significantly disrupted areas. Anything that is happening right now, that was always going to happen. Online schooling was always going to happen. I mean, I took my master's degree almost primarily online 10 years ago, so it's not like it can't happen. The remote workforce automation, all the things that have been coming, they're going to get escalated because all the money that's lost in this thing, companies aren't going to let it happen again. So you're going to see a lot of stuff escalated. Just what the reality is. Joe is in the house. Everybody say hello to Joe. Joe got to see, if you watch today's double live, Joe C right here. Joe C was the person that sent me all those prizes in today's episode of Double Life, including a signed Lamar Jackson jersey. Way too much. So please say hello to Joe. Thank him. Follow him on Instagram. It's tremendous. And he sent me another gift basket that you'll see in another episode. So, Joe, I'm glad you could join, man. Sorry if I missed you earlier commenting. I love the prizes. Right over there, it's got Lamar up. All of it's on the wall now. I think I'm going to send that medal to you to get graded, probably. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. If you do a DubCon, yeah, we will need a keg. I mean, that's not for one of my friends want it, but not for me. My workers give me 3 pay vacation, basically. Yeah. I think a lot of people are landing either in go home and you're going to get paid, or go home and you're not going to get paid. But there's also people that have to go work in the middle of this. You know, if you work at a grocery store, pharmacy, or especially in the medical field. I mean, Victoria works in the VA at the hospital. So, I mean, she can't not go in. You have to go be in there. Yeah, Steve, I know you've got a lot going on with in the workplace. I can't believe the state of Georgia hasn't closed all schools yet. Almost all the schools are closed, but I can't believe they haven't closed it. Didn't order the first wave of Thundercats because if you had the Matty Collector ones, you probably didn't get them. I didn't have them. I imagine courthouses are crazy. And if you work in mortgages, I bet that's crazy right now. At least it was when everybody tried to refinance when those rates dropped. That's got to be madness. University statistics, any decision whether in person or online, made by higher above. Yeah, see, like, this is not a braggy statement. Like, I'm the one that has to make a lot of those decisions for my employees. I got a talking in high level. I was hopeful Saturday I'd not have to work, and the first thing I agreed with in the morning was we need a plan that goes to the CEO around what happens if half your workforce gets sick this weekend. What are we going to do? Okay, guess I'm working today. There's things like that are not normally in your contingency plans. Like, this is kind of unprecedented, at least in terms of our modern workforce. Ben, what's up? Adam, we're being impacted. School closures. Yep. Oh, man, I got way behind on the chat. Chris is a chef. Yeah, so possibly being closed down because of everything else starting to close for a few weeks. This is a thing I would I think you can do to help. Local businesses that you support, whether it's restaurants, cleaning services. If you have a local, like a person that cuts your hair that's not a chain, that's like a local, those people don't have corporate relief. And like, you can judge the way corporations are handling this positively or negatively, but at least there's a corporate pool of monies that can help. Try to keep supporting those businesses, even in the way you can, even if it's to get them to deliver food, or like reaching out to the person that cuts your hair and saying, hey, I want to go ahead and pay you for what I would get done this month, even though I'm going to choose not to come in because I don't want to social distancing or whatever. And you could just give me a credit to the future, because those folks are going to be in a challenge. If people stop supporting local businesses, they don't have millions of dollars that they can just pay and then worry about it later. So I'm going to continue to support the local businesses that I support, even if it's in a scenario where, like I have folks that come and clean my house, and maybe if I don't want them here right now because whatever, I say, well, I'm going to pay you this month, and we'll just give me a credit down the road when business is good. I think it's just, you try to do it as best you can, being responsible. Not everybody can do that, but try, because those are the people that are really going to be in a hard position. Am I considering ending Double Life at episode 100? I am. I'm considering ending it. I mean, I considered ending it at 69. It's just a lot, and I've been doing it for a long time now. So, when you're producing a lot of times 2 hours of an episode, that's making a full length movie every week. You just run out of time sometimes, and it's not that I don't enjoy it. I completely do. We still do a lot of fun stuff. It's more, I've been very consistent. That's how I am as a person. I want to be consistent. I want to deliver what I say I'm going to deliver. And I don't know that I'll be able to always deliver it every week without just, maybe saying, no, maybe I won't do that this week. So I'm considering at least ending the consistency at 100. That is not a for sure thing. That is still months away before I'd even really talk about that again. But it is a possibility. If I did end Dub Life properly at episode 100, I would still make videos. They'd just be shorter. They would be irregular, meaning not every Sunday at noon, more like, oh, it's a Tuesday. Randomly, there's a Dub Life video. Or maybe it would just be an irregular or a shorter video that's always at Sunday. I don't really know. It depends on where my life is. Things change a bit. If you've binged, well, if you've binged, you've seen a lot. But if you've been watching Dub Life since the beginning, like all the way, like every week, you've seen how much life has changed. When it started, I was traveling every single episode. Right now, I can't travel till May, even if I want to. It's frozen. So it changes. So I don't know. I'll see how it goes. Still have to go to work. 30 people in the department. Yeah, schedule changes. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Shifting schedules around. State standardized testing. That would be great, Steve. Went to one of my local comic shops. Mike's House of Comics in Knoxville. I feel like I've been there. It sounds familiar. It was an amazing prize from Joe. Geek. Amazing. Geek's prize right out there, the grill. I need to get on that. Remote financial institutions. Yeah, they're having some challenges. Nursing, well, they're just busy. Yes, nurse, doctors, grocery workers need prizes after this. Lots of people need prizes after this. I can't imagine. I think it went viral the other day, but I saw it in the local news either last night or the night. I think it was Friday night. It was Friday night, and now it's gone to like CNN, Fox News, things like that. But it was in the local news. The Costco near my house. Somebody took bottles of water out of somebody else's hand. That person busted a wine bottle and stabbed them in the Costco. That happened like right by the house. People lost their minds. I mean, that's terrible, but I'm going to tell you, if I had been at Costco, that would have been on Dub Life. I'm not going to act like I wouldn't have documented it. All right. All schools in North Carolina are shut down. I think there's like 18 states that have fully shut down. At least that was the last night too. It's probably changed. Yeah, please love on people, support other people. That's what I'm trying to do here. I mean, this is purely an act of love. Even for you, if you're watching, the person that thinks it's so cool to go dislike my videos every time I post it, even when I'm talking about like encouraging things, even you trying to show love to you, a cool person. They won't be able to comment because they're, well, maybe they are, but if I know who they are, they're blocked from the channel. But even you, support local. Yeah, comic shops need you more than ever. And again, have them keep your pull, send them PayPal the money, tell them just pile it up. I'll come get it. Don't wait to go get it, right? There may not be a time to wait till, right? If you just say, well, I'll settle up with you in 3 months. What if they go to business in that 3 months? They need cash flow. They got to pay people. They got to pay employees. Comic shops are not sitting on a bunch of money. That's not a thing that happens. So, try to work stuff out with people as best you can. If you're also being financially disrupted, you're being financially disrupted. Nothing you do. If you're not, and you would have spent that $18 at the comic store this Wednesday anyway, try to go ahead and get it to them. Just do the best you can, because it's going to be a shame to see a lot of those things get impacted by this. Be sad with no double life. I mean, don't get sad yet. We'll see. Lots of things could change. You never know. Yeah, I mean, I may go to every other week. I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot. There's a lot of variables in that. It's a lot of variables. Toys and comics with Big Dub. What will I do when I'm driving back home from Miami? Well, you can. I got some good podcasts you can listen to, Geek. I've very much been enjoying Better Call Saul. TV's good right now. If you spoil it, I'll kick you out of the chat. So do not spoil it. But like, if you have AMC Premiere, you've already seen tonight's Walking Dead. It's awesome. Walking Dead itself is awesome right now. Let's see, DoorDash requesting a no-contact delivery. You can use services like that to help support the local business. Uber Eats, DoorDash. It's really good. Walking Dead tonight. And it's been great this season. Westworld premieres tonight. I'm very, very, very excited for that. And Better Call Saul has been outstanding. I think this is going to end up being their best season yet, and they've only got 1 season to go. So really good. Kane's on episode 53. So much hour. Yeah, Kane is binging Dub Life. Mama said pop you out. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I'm not sure what that was about. Heard about this. Yes. Yeah, the stab at Costco is crazy. You wouldn't need toilet paper if you had a bidet. You would need as much. You don't have to have toilet paper. You have to dry yourself, but you could do that with a towel and just wash. Once you wash crack, you never go back. My people know. We've been on a bidet life for several years. Josh, what's up, buddy? Yeah, nobody put Walking Dead spoil. I'm kicking you out if you put Walking Dead spoil. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just telling you it's good. Walking Dead is a great show right now. It's as good as it's been in a very long time. How much? Yeah. I mean, I think I saw something on Twitter was funny where people had like NBA 2K in simulation mode on the PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, and they were watching that and like betting on it and cheering for it. That was funny. I know for a fact that myself and Drew, if Drew is still in here, and some of our other friends that I don't connect with anymore, we would do that Game Breaker 99, 100% on the PlayStation or PlayStation 2, whatever Game Breaker 99 was on. We would put the thing on and we would bet on it and do stupid challenges based on what would happen in like making computer play the computer. So I know I've seen people doing that, which is pretty funny. It brought me back to many, many years ago. How much? Let's see. Mike's House of... I feel like I've been there. Josh, what are you doing, man? How's your afternoon going? I know you were supposed to be at a show, so you are not. Video challenges may be needed to boost morale. Oh. Steve is saying what he wants is for me to bring him on this live stream right now, and he gets in the nude and eats hot dog. That's what I think he's saying. That's what that means. Yeah, Chris, that's not good. I mean, if people aren't taking it seriously at this stage, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I know we should always look for better opportunities, but like in a time like this, in a time like crisis, right? Like this is what I'm paid for. This is what I'm equipped for. This is all of my life. I've always been at my best. Steve is a person that's known me all my life, so he can tell you if I'm lying. But in situations of high stress, high pressure, and when quick decisions have to happen, that's just what I'm equipped for. That's how my parents raised me. That's the brain God blessed me with. Trying to keep a level head, be clear, but also keep levity. And so we were ahead of this. We've been executing for several weeks when most of the country showed up near the end of last week. And even in my company, like, why are you taking this so seriously? And I was like, because that's what it needs to be. So I feel like I'm pretty good at that. But people that aren't taking it seriously, you're going to learn a lot about your management, about your leadership at the top of your organization, about how they handle this, and how if something were to escalate, you'll learn whether you need to look for different employers or not. By the way they handle this, it's just the way it'll be, I think. Just come back from the store, stocking up more highs upside down. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of places. I know in Massachusetts, I think it is possible, from what I'm hearing through some of my work channels, that they could move to an order to shelter in place. That's a very possible thing. I think several states are close to a shelter in place order, which basically means the government is telling you don't leave your house. I do not think schools will reopen until the fall. That's what I personally believe, because right now most things are moving to close through the month of April. Are you going to bring students back for a couple weeks? How are you going to make up the school year at that state? I don't know. I don't know what that means, but I think they're going to, if online school works, they're just going to say that's what we got to do, because as long as there's still net new infections, they can't send people back. They can't. No one can take that litigation. I think mentally everybody should be preparing for, okay, what does this look like if I'm going to stay home most of the time for the next period of time? And I don't mean if the grocery stores aren't open or if restaurants aren't open. I just mean if they're asking us to not leave the house much, except for essentials, including kids, including whoever. I just think that's a reality of what's coming. And again, a lot of that's going to be state government, not federal government. That's going to be governors issuing laws, decrees, martial law, curfews, whatever. That is the thing so as of the end of last week, I told my team, we just need to prepare that the entire workforce is going to be sent to work from home. And that's what happened 3 days later. Fortunately, we were prepared. And it's not that I'm divine. It's just you prepare for the thing that is the most disruptive, that you can prepare for without panicking, without leading to chaos. And then anything else is okay. And if it goes to the boom, massive scenario, you try to be prepared for that, but you don't go buy all the toilet paper and all the meat and things like that. You try to do it rationally. Yeah, that's when I got that stuff. Sorry. Got things I got to deal with on both sides. Let me see what people are saying. Is it New York State or in New York City? Occupancy can only be at 50% of like bars and restaurants, I think is what that is. Something like that. Mandatory close at 9 p.m. Walmart is no longer open 24 hours. Yeah, right, Steve. That's exactly right. The thing that would make all the schools send kids home when there were 40 confirmed cases in your state, it's not going to magically go away if there's 400 confirmed cases in your state. The precaution is going to stay there. And for you 79 people who are watching right now, please don't be the group that panics next week in a couple days. So if what happens and what we're told is that more tests are going to get out so people can be tested and the government's going to pay for the testing. I know my employer has said they would pay if you wanted to get tested as well. Other employers would do that possibly, but whatever the case is, if all of a sudden we see a spike in people getting tested, well, you're going to see a spike of people that are confirmed infected. It's just the reality, right? No one knows they have the fever until they take their temperature, and then more people know they have the fever. Don't panic. It doesn't mean there was a huge jump. It means there's a huge jump of people knowing that they had it. And then hopefully people, the solution will be the same. Don't go be around other people. Because right now it is, don't go to the football game because someone at the football game might be sick, and they don't know it. All that would change is don't go to the football game because somebody at the football game is sick, and now they know it. It's the same response. So don't panic to that. Like that is an expected thing that when they start testing more people are going to be confirmed. All talk here in the UK, we could be in a lockdown situation by the end of the month. Simon, I think that internationally, I don't know, but I think you have to assume that with Italy starting it and then Spain and France. I mean, it's closing toward you. And I know that, I don't think that the water has anything to do with this, like being on an island. I think it's possible that a lot of the European countries are going to start to shut down, even preventatively, if anything else. I've lost my mouse. It's on the other monitor. I've lost it. Everybody can still hear me okay with my mouse situation? Nothing there that I need to do. I can close that window. I'm having a orange vanilla Coca-Cola zero sugar. The first time I had this, I thought it tasted like when you drink orange juice when you brush your teeth, but it's better this time around. It's better. This person can go away. Guys, if you're modding anything that's fear-mongering, silliness, whatever, please help me with that. I will just end the chat if that's what it becomes. Epicenter is Kentucky, Cynthiana. That name sounds familiar to me. Yes. I don't know why. Probably been to something in Cynthiana, Kevin. Statewide, yep. Yeah, financially, you're going to need it. I mean, Josh, you're ahead of the game on that stuff, buddy, because it's you're going to need it. I don't know why people are freaking out buying toilet paper, Simon. I can't help with that. That's silly. Want to bid on eBay Avengers number 119? I don't know. If you can, Sam, go to eBay and search Avengers 119 CGC. Find a graded one and zoom in on the picture and look at the grader's notes, and you'll see what is significant about that issue. I'm not sure who's in that. Live in Hawaii. Unstable weather. A couple months, food and water. Ben, do I think it's possible the federal government enact martial law? I think that is less possible. I think they would let the states do that. I mean, it's possible. They could certainly restrict travel, domestic travel, but I can't see. Oh, Joe, New York school. All right, New York school shutting down is important because the mayor was very clear that he didn't want to shut schools down. So that's that's tough in New York. Yeah, I mean, there's not a thing that should cause a shortage of toilet paper supply chain, but you don't know. Have a bidet, but bidets are sold out too. The unfortunate thing is, like, older people that can't rush and push people out of the way to get toilet paper, they're not getting the stuff they need. So the hoarders, hopefully you get what you need coming to you. Because if there's an old person that can't use toilet paper because you have 100 rolls, well, hopefully diarrhea sets in. You got to use all 100 of them. That's what I feel about it. People need that stuff. I don't know if second appearance. Penn State, Steve, man, that stinks. Finally, they had a good basketball team. They had a guy that didn't go to the NBA. He's really good, Lamar. First time they're going to make the NCAA tournament, however long. At one point, they were number 9 in the country, and another year they won't make the tournament. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it's fine. Like, people need to be taking care of themselves and the health. But I'm like, oh, of course. The one year they were good. So yes, national champs. I think somebody, the XFL team, declared themselves champions, just like Steve Spurrier did in the whatever the name of that football league that folded after a couple weeks. He declared themselves the champions of that. Let's see. WrestleMania, the only reason. I don't know what that is. Yeah, malls. I know a lot of the stores in our malls. I mean, a lot of stores are driven by like places like Nike or Dick's or Apple or whatever, and a lot of those are just going to close. But I know, like, at least my friends that work in those kind of stores are getting paid. Some of the company, like if GameStop has to shut down for a couple weeks, I've got a very good friend that works at GameStop. They're not very liquid. They may not have cash to pay people. I don't know. I mean, I hope they will, but you don't know. You just don't know. It depends on the financial well-being of the company. It's easy to say, well, you should pay your employees. Well, the money has to come from somewhere. And so think about it like this: if you are living, if you're a paycheck to paycheck person, what if you're a paycheck to paycheck company? Meaning you can pay your employees because 2 months ago you made money selling stuff. And if you don't sell stuff 2 months ago, you don't have money to pay your employees in 2 months. You don't have it. There are companies that are like that. Small businesses are often like that, but there are big companies that are like that. They literally don't have it. They can't do it. So it's hard. It's hard for everybody. March break in Canada. I think they're concerned anyone that still went away would be isolated. Yeah. Canada seems to have not had as many infections, I think. Everyone's getting infected ASAP. Did I try the Dr. Pepper? No, BJ. I want that Dr. Pepper cream soda. I had never seen it until like yesterday or the day before when I went to the grocery store. I want it. It's not a diet or zero. I don't think I've drank a sugar soda this year, so I'm trying not to. Let's see. If I ever plan on selling that Arkham Knight hot toy. Okay. If I ever plan on selling hot toys, which I've contemplated, I'll do it through these channels. Oh, Kevin, that is right. Rick did wake up in the Cynthiana hospital. That's why it sounded familiar. I've done so many things and traveled so many places. I just am like, oh, maybe I was there. Maybe like Joe's House of Comics Emporium was there. I don't know, Joe. Was it? Joe's in New York, though, so probably not Kentucky. But something. But that makes sense. Bidet Club Life. I am in the Bidet Club Life. They're sold out on Amazon right now. Josh does have a bidet. I mean, I have made sure most of my friends understand what life is like with bidet because I've sent them bidets. In fact, multiple people in this chat currently have a bidet sent from me. Crazy. Washington State, I know. That's a lot of my work 2 weeks ago was because of Seattle. And I have a large presence of employees in Seattle. And it's been really hard. It's been really hard. Yeah, Westworld's coming. I'm excited for that. Eric, I am super jealous of the Mezco Frankenstein doorway die you picked up. I've been looking for that forever. I wasn't 100% sure it exists until I seen you post about it. Me too. I was not sure that that thing really existed until I found it, because I've looked for it for like at least 3 years, maybe longer, and never once have encountered it for sale. Never. Not on eBay. Nothing. I've never seen it for sale. And although you can find like one random product image of it, there's product images of things that have never been made. Hot Toys, Marvel Legends. You can find all these Toy Biz Marvel Legends never got made. They show them at a toy fair or whatever, and then for whatever reason it doesn't get produced. Like the Stan Lee Build-A-Figure that just came out as its own figure, right? You can see those pictures that have the pieces to the Stan Lee Build-A-Figure in like I think it was a Falcon and Winter Soldier maybe. I don't remember what was going to have that. But so I wondered if it ever got made for real or if it was a made up thing. And it was not. It was a real. So when I have had an eBay alert on that. Use eBay alerts if you don't. I had an eBay alert. It was like Mezco, Frankenstein, Doorway, and Mezco Frankenstein Diorama, and Mezco Frankenstein Dio. 3 different eBay alerts to email me if a new posting ever cut up. And one, the only email I ever got from it, and it popped up. I'm like, you're kidding me. And I was like, I'm winning this auction no matter what. I'm winning it. So I've been looking for that for so long. And in fact, now, because David, I don't think David's in here, but David worked out a weird trade, lots of stuff between he and I. The other one I'm missing, I now have. It's just with him, and we're social distance, so I can't get it. But soon, I will have all of the commercially available Mezco 112 collector figures thus far, meaning not Puerto Rico Comic Con, not Asia Comic Con, not Toy Fair, all the others. That'll make me happy. Westworld. Did you hear about 18,000 balls of hand signed? Depending on the state, he could go to jail for that. Depending on the state scalping laws, he could go to jail for that. It's always good to have a savings. Oh, yeah. I mean, other conversation, right? Like people say, oh, well, I'm good. I can buy these toys, these figures, and I'm paying all my bills. If you can't also survive, like right now, if you don't get paid for a month, you're not technically paying all your bills. Like, and you shouldn't be buying stuff. So, that's when you budget, if you're budgeting, don't put your toy money. So you've probably heard me talk about this. My 100% check, the first 10% is a tithe. The next 10% is savings. The next 10% is retirement, 5% charities. I live off 65%. That way, I always know that if something were to happen, if I were to lose my job, if my company were to close, I can survive a little while. And that number is not, that's why I use percentages. It's always been the same since I became an adult. It was the same when I was making $11 an hour. It was the same. So that I know I can survive in the event something happens. And you hope nothing happens, and then you just can put more money in your retirement or whatever, whatever needs to happen. Give more money to charity, something like that. Getting death threats. IE, yes, that's me. I don't have a lot of toilet paper, man. I got bidets. I got maybe 20 rolls in the house, maybe, and I haven't bought any in a long time. We only go through like a roll a month, really, with the bidet. You don't use that much. Number one villain. People in Canada doing the same thing. It's all over the country. It's all over the world. It's all over the world. I think in Australia they've had real bad stuff with shortages. A lot of places. That's a work email. Let me see. Maybe it's not a work email. Oh, no, that's mother. Also counts as work email. Need to make sure there's nothing needed. I did go to the Kroger the other day. It'll be on 2 weeks from now, Dub Life. I've got that filmed already. I had to kind of compress some filming because all this is hit, but as I hope a lot of you'll find out. I'll talk about it on Monday's video tomorrow, but my grandmother died last week. So all this, so had, deal with all that stuff. So I had not been to the store to see all the madness. I did go to Kroger out of pure fascination to see what's left. Like, I have a lot of opinions on the way people are handling things, but that's fine. What I wanted to see is what's left. So all the pork section was gone except for the Beyond Meat sausage. And there was a full supply of that. All the other pork gone. All the chicken gone except chicken livers. And I just found that curious. And probably sociological interesting. All the hot dogs are gone except for Hebrew National stuff, which they're delicious. Is that because I'm like, I live in an area that's very anti-Semitic and they don't want to buy Hebrew National? Like, what does that mean? So I found that quite curious, just to see what was the remaining product in certain areas that were wiped out. Slowing down on Legends. A lot of people slowing down on Legends. Yeah. And publicize those stores. Everybody wants to retweet, share the Crete that has all those hand sanitizer. Retweet and share more of the one person that helps somebody. And, let them get their attention. Double down. Dive in. Doo-doo-doo. Honesty. Follow your dreams. Hello. Rebel Empire Westy. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. You can go to jail. Do I feel like Mezco has horrible customer service? I mean, they have been poopy as a company, generally speaking. In the sense of it's like impossible to order their exclusives. They don't do communications well. But most of the toy companies, honestly, are like that. I have not had the occasion to do true customer service with them. It's only frustrations of like, why does your website crash all the time? But lots of places websites crash all the time. Sideshow's website crashed when they put up the Baby Yoda statue. So I don't know that I can speak to their customer service specifically. I wish from an infrastructure perspective, they would do things differently. But in terms of customer service, I don't have a lot of experience with it. Thor Comic Hunt's going pretty well. There's just most of what I need now is early Journey into Mystery or very early main title Thor, like under 200. And those are all expensive. You can find them, but they're very expensive. So it's slow. It's going slow. Hebrew Nash, yeah, they're great. The Reese's were not sold out, Kane. There were plenty, actually, of candies, a significant amount of beer. I assume that would be gone, but a lot. Like Bud Light, Budweiser, Miller Lite, and Coors Light in front of the cooler stacked up. And maybe the distribution guys had just been there. But I was like, oh, well, people are going to buy all the beer, right? No, it was gone. It was gone. Pulled the trigger on Spawn 1. That's a good book. I need to get one slabbed. I got to Spawn 1 and someone. Adam, have a good night. Thanks for joining. I don't know. But see, my problem is they're making incredible product. Their stuff is getting better and better, in my opinion, at least for my tastes. I want to give up 1/12 scale altogether, but they're the one that keep me around because they just keep putting out really good stuff. And I've gotten them all so far. So as frustrating as it is, I've been able to do it. I should start early hunting season for those who hunt. It's not a bad point. If you can, get some food. Anything I've planned to get canceled because of this? Just Toylanta next week got canceled that we'd have been to. Trying to think of anything else. No, just Toylanta. That's all that I've had on the schedule. I mean, there were trips that I would probably have taken for work, but I hadn't scheduled yet. Those haven't been canceled. Just not going to happen. No issues finding Jack Daniels in New Jersey. Well, cheers. Mezco owes you the 3 watches for the Chaos Club. Oh, yeah. See, I've never had to deal with lost pieces. That sucks all the time. Lost pieces. In fact, a slideshow is not bad, actually. But like if you listen to the Zack Ryder podcast, the wrestling figure podcast, he like lost a piece on his life-size Han Solo in carbonite sideshow statue, and they just sent him a whole nother statue. And he lost like a small piece. And now he has two. And usually I think when you have something wrong with the statue, they make you send a picture that you broke the original statue. But maybe I guess they didn't do that with him. I don't know. But Sideshow does it. But yeah, I can't imagine how much fun it is getting replacement parts because I don't think they've got just vats of replacement parts. It's got to be hard. I can't imagine that. Chris, Wuda Films up. I'm glad you could be here. Brandon, what's up? Was supposed to go to a con this weekend, a concert. Yeah. I think WrestleMania will be canceled. Paul, I can't see it not. Yep. I mean, Josh, I've got a lot of employees that are dealing with that too. Like what do we do? That's a lot of people. Like how you get kids home and everybody's, if you're still working, even if you work at home, you can't just have kids run around. They're not going to understand. It's going to be a financial burden on a lot of people. And economically, we're not set up right now. I mean, fortunately, we've had a good economy, but it's going to take an impact here. I think a lot of discretionary spending is going to go away. It's going to be hard. Eric, Soap Studios looks great. And I agree. I think 3-0 is making 112. The Soap Studio stuff is getting better and better. Their very first stuff, like the Ra's al Ghul, I didn't think it was very good, but it's getting better. One moment. Oh, look at my booty. Oh, let me see. So, can you still see me here? Oh, package. I have this guy. That came in yesterday. Far From Home, Mesco. No, the glare is killing me. Jonathan, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. That's a kind statement. I try to have a joyful life. I think, so I'll show you. I'm not going to take them out of the box. But this is one of the Kickstarter exclusives of the Horsies, the Sugar Skull. And it's almost like Day of the Dead type horse kind of thing. That's one of the 2 Kickstarter exclusives, which I think looks great. And then this is the other one, Sarah Francis, the Rainbow Unicorn. Although, what am I doing here? Sorry. I think that also looks good. But they are selling a unicorn that says Frankie. So I don't know if that's a male and this is a female. That's the Kickstarter exclusive. I don't know. And then I'll show you this guy. It's like an elk, I think. Kaiwiki. Now, again, I probably wouldn't have bought these currently. I like the antlers. But, I mean, I'm glad I got them because they look great. But this Kickstarter was like 400 years ago. I'll show you one of the creature kits, too. Let me show you. So, that Dark Pegasus, and it's like the things that you put on the horses. This is really difficult. There we go. The things you put on the horses to like dress them up to look differently. So this is the Dark Pegasus, which means you can turn a black horse or any color horse into like demon horse. Let me see if I can get it to. No, there you go. You can see the red eye there. I think that looks awesome. So I've got not all, but a good chunk of my all in. Where did I put them? So, woo! That's right. Hold on one moment. One moment. Got a TT. Got a TT. TT. All right. TT over. Sorry. But I like those horsies. I probably wouldn't have bought them now, but because I bought them 14 years ago, I was happy when they came in because I didn't have to pay for them again. Let's see. What did I miss? Jonathan, thank you. Brandon, ToyCon next weekend. Nate, what's up, dude? How are you? I did shake it. Yeah, there we go. New York City's to close over coronavirus concerns. We didn't need the news to tell us. Joe gave us the breaking news. So I have all of the Vitruvian hacks. I mean, I got a bunch of Vitruvian hacks for the horses, Peepo. I kind of want to wait. I don't know. So if I want to keep a consistent episode of Dub Life right now, I need content, to be honest with you. So if you've watched the episode today, it ended in the middle of a weekend when we got back from visiting Steve. Next week picks up the very next day with Victoria and I, and then goes through where I did actually a little bit of travel. And then I take a hiatus because I needed to go and be with my family for my grandmother's funeral. And then I came back. Even though you won't be interrupted, I didn't film for quite a while. And then the episode that'll air in 2 weeks is got some flashbacks from our road trip, but then primarily like what I'm doing with can't see anybody, nothing to do. And there's at least going to be one more episode of that. So I'll probably open a lot of those and put the stuff on them in a Dub Life. Otherwise, we're not going to have an episode because I like there's nowhere to go. Everything's closed, nothing to do. Like I'm going to try to play with my drone some. This is all hopeful that I don't have to work 18-hour days again this week. I'm hopeful it's just like 10 or 12-hour days. I wish it was 8-hour days, but that ain't going to happen. So I'm going to probably do something interesting with Nerf guns, maybe. So I don't know. Probably open those later. But I don't have all of it. It came in 2 different boats. So the rest of my all-in is not here yet. There's like another set of that stuff. I think I have all the horses, though. I did shake it. OG Geek, you're probably already gone. Have a good day, man. The amazing review of Spider-Man? Yeah. Let's see. What did I miss? Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland. Need to pick up the Rise of Kylo Ren number 4. Oh, that's a comment. That sounds like interesting, actually. Brandon, yes, those toys are unbelievable. Joe C, if he's still in here, is in the chat right now. Brandon, Joe, if you're still here, that is who sent me all that wonderful stuff, which is very humbling and honestly was quite moving for me. In a time where, I'm thinking about winding down Dub Life and some of that stuff, to have someone send that, I don't request it. I never expect anybody to send anything for me. In fact, I don't really want you to. I can certainly get what I need to get, but somebody that wanted to show fan appreciation and that intentional specific with Walking Dead and Winnie the Pooh and Thor and the Ravens is somebody that really pays attention and cares. So he's in the chat here, Brandon. If you can tell him thank you. Kane, there you is a Pegasus. I'll show you. You have to get. So if you get this. Oh, look at my butt. No, I sat on my ball sack. If you get, any horse, but let's just say you get the Shield, the white horse, you can buy the Pegasus creature kit. All right, so if you get that, look at that picture there. See if I can get it. That right there. And you have a Pegasus, and you can also make a dark Pegasus because there's a dark Pegasus creature kit. Which I have 3 Pegasus creature kits and 2 of the Dark Pegasus creature kits. So I will have quite a few Pegasus going on. That's the thing I will have. What am I going to do with the horses? I think I answered that. Horsey Ranch, maybe. I'm going to get them on display somehow. For a while, I wanted to do a 1/18th Battle of 5 Armies. And I still could. I've got a bunch of the Haya Toys Predators and Aliens. I've got a bunch of the Haya Toys Injustice DC figures. I've got the Boss Fight Studio stuff. I have the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I just need a 5th army, right? No, that is 5. That's a 5. Haya, Alien and Predator. Haya, DC. Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Boss Fight Studio. Now I'm confused. Oh, I have Marauder stuff. Marauder Task Force. Thought about doing a big display like that. I wanted to for a while, and then these took so long to come in. So I don't know. Should kit bash one of the camel. Yeah, could do that. That's well, 2 noises. You're probably actually hearing the fountain. So right there, well, it's across the room, but right there is the aquarium. But the little drip you're hearing is the fountain itself. Like, that's the fountain. I have like a little rock fountain beside the aquarium that makes that noise, that relaxing noise. But you might could have heard my TT too. You know, never know. I'm looking at a few different companies, like 112 scale horses. Mythic Legions will have some out here at some point. Those are probably almost all sold out most places, but one of them's like Fire Devil Satan horse. Another one I think is just more like a black horse, I think. I don't know if Josh is still in here. Then he can do. But there are at least 2 horses from them that look good. And then a lot of people with Mythic Legions fans use the Lord of the Rings horses from Toy Biz from early decade. One that has samurai on it. Now that may be different. Although Mythic Legions, I could see making that. Celebrating St. Patty's Day. Well, hope you're having fun. Zambo, thank you. I've done a lot of cooking with Dub recently. I think today's episode probably had some, we have wings. I'm cooking a lot more recently. I think so. I can't promise no Dub Life spoilers because that's like my own life. It's kind of hard. Joe is still here. Yeah, so there you go, Brendan. Yeah, thank you for thinking. Ben, have a good night. Let me get caught up on the chat. Am I worried about restaurants closing? They will. I think they will. I'm not worried about it. I mean, I've got enough food to last for quite a while. In terms of like protein bars and canned food and cereal and like just my normal pantry. Like I haven't bought anything from the grocery store in like a month. But those things are not like having supply chain issues, so they'll get restocked. I mean, I think the grocery stores, Walmart, they're being proactive by saying they're going to shut down at night or every other day or whatever, so they can restock the shelves and let their shipments come in. It's not because they don't have anything; it's because they physically can't move as fast as the hordes of people are doing stuff. So they have to have a chance to survive. If we're trapped in the house, I got a pile of Gundam kits and diary. Yeah, I mean, I got Lego. New York to build, and I have a bunch of Mega Bloks stuff I could build. That's a good point. Marauder, yeah, I like Marauder too. Chris, do I still have any legends? Yeah, I have some legends. I have prominently displayed in the arcade. I have the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, and I have Blob with his hands from Josh, and Fing Fang Foom. Those are prominently displayed legends. I still have legends displayed. I have Thor Ragnarok stuff and Spider-Ham and like Bay Ray Bill, like different things like that. Especially Thor verse stuff. Let's see. When am I going to open up Spidey? Probably not on this live stream. Maybe, depending on how long we go, but most likely on a future episode of Double Life. Again, I need to be able to have content, or there won't be a Double Life video. Or it'll just be a Double Life video of, oh, look, and now Big Dub sitting at the computer working. Some more. So that's all he's done. I had sat, if you have been watching Double Life or you know what my computer little monitor, I have sat here so much. I mean, the one thing that almost got me not to live stream is, do I really want to sit in this chair and look at these monitors anymore? Because I have done it way too much with work. But I decided to. Fire horse as well. Brown. It's a brown horse, yeah. I did air fryer wings. They were really good too. That was the first time I'd used the air fryer. I know lots of people told me that it's good. Follow your dreams. Loves the cooking. Oh, thank you. Strong Guy Bath. I think the Sugar Man Bath. I think I saw somebody reviewed that recently, right? Somebody. Unparalleled Universe, maybe? Somebody looks like they had it. Rivera? I don't remember who it was. That's an interesting looking little figure, the Sugar Man from the Age of Apocalypse wave, I think is what it is. Dr. Doom is nice. Galactus is a really good. I don't have that anymore, but it is a really good Build-A-Figure. Agree. That one, I don't know. I don't know that they're ever going to make these towering ones again. The way that Foom and Apocalypse and Galactus and the Sentinel. They teased, right, at Toy Fair that there would be a Sentinel. What's that thing called? The Kickstarter they have. Hasbro. I don't remember what it's called. But the thing that the Jabba's barge came from and that Unicron at some point will come from, that the Cookie Monster didn't get funded, whatever that's called. The Hasbro Kickstarter. But Hasbro Pulse, but it's called something. It's not called Kickstarter. I don't remember. It's the Hasbro Pulse Kickstarter, but it's got a specific name. I don't know what. Oh, HasLab. Yeah, HasLab. They tease that there will be a Sentinel from that. If that's going to come. Maybe that'll be the big one. Like, yeah, thank you guys, HasLab. Maybe that'll be a big one like the old Toy Biz one. Maybe it'll be something different. I don't know. It's not something I'll pick up, but could be interesting. I tell you what, who is making the Sentinels look awesome is Iron Studios. The Iron Studios X-Men diorama that they're making with the 3 different Sentinels and all the X-Men, that thing is slap booty nasty. I'm talking filthy filth, McGee. You don't need to own any other X-Men stuff ever if you own that. That thing is not cheap. Not cheap. But that is, and y'all know, if you've been watching me, you know I've been on the Iron Studios bandwagon before anyone I knew. I was the only person that collected that stuff. And I have a ton of their product. I think they're awesome. That Sentinel 3-pack, 3-set diorama thing looks unbelievable. It looks unbelievable. And I'm tempted by it, but it's going to cost like $5,000 or $6,000 by the time it's all said and done to get all 3 Sentinels and all of the different, the companion X-Men that don't come with it. Yeah, Joe, the one with Magneto, Juggernaut, Gambit, and Sentinel. That looks awesome. Where it's like Magneto's on top of the Sentinel and it's like controlling him. Whew. That's the middle. Whew. Iron Studios is from Brazil, Franco, I believe. Brazil. And it's going to be so expensive. So I can't do it. Plus, I think if you have all 3 of them, it's like 3 feet tall and like 8 feet maybe wide. Who has that display space for one uninterrupted thing? But it looks great. And I know that I'm going to regret it when I don't get it, but I think it's just too expensive. I recommend Dark Side, Mezco Dark Side. I like it. I think the problem people had with Mezco Dark Side when it came out was $180 because it's polystone. And they probably could have made it not polystone and made it a lot cheaper, but that thing got clearanced everywhere. I think at some places it dropped down under $100. It's really cool. The light up eyes with the Omega beams look awesome. I like the Dark Side. It's not as articulated because it's polystone, but if you can get it a fair amount under retail, I recommend it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Iron Studios Thundercats. They look good. I agree. Yeah, people don't talk about Iron Studios. I mean, so much of our hobby is hype train. Let's just be real, right? It's just hype train. And this influencer said it, so I'm going to get it. Or this is what I see people buying, so I'm going to get it. And I don't want to miss. I got to get the Red Hulk first. Even though I've got 100 Hulks that look just like it. I got to get it first. So I can be part of the people that are saying they've got it. That's so much of what the hobby has become anymore that statues don't get talked about like that. Statues are also more expensive. I think they cater to a different collector that isn't doing as much YouTube type stuff or Facebook group type stuff because they just buy it and they present it. So I wonder if that's part of it. I think they're making awesome product. Awesome. I mean, they're 1/10 dioramas that in some cases will be 16, 18 inches because of the base and everything. That sometimes on $100 are awesome. I mean, I hold a whole massive cabinet of them. I think they're great. I think they're absolutely great. Yeah, Brazil. That's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, I know there's statue streamers and such, but that group does not, at least in my thing, does not cross-sect. It's not a cross-section with figure people. Like, in fact, I'm the only statue collector of my group of friends. I'm the only one. No one else buys statues. They may buy vinyl stuff or like the little $20, $30 statues, but they don't buy premium statues. I don't know. Nobody does. I think David, he has Ninja Turtle statues because he bought all the Ninja Turtles, but that's it. He doesn't buy any others. So I just think that it's a different community. And statues aren't in a Walmart typically. You're not running to get them as they come out. You pre-order them, you get them when they arrive. So there's not a FOMO, like Ren said. There's not this buzz. There's not hype train. It's just what happens. So that may be different. Storm Collectibles Dark Side looks awesome. I've already paid for the Storm Collectibles Bane, and I still don't have it from GameStop online. I didn't do it through James because they ran a sale in the middle of the night. I don't know. I made a mistake. I'm never going to get it probably. But it does look great. All the Injustice Storm stuff I'm interested in. Last Marvel Legends was Ant Giant Man, like the one in the box. Danny, what's up, man? That one? I don't think I have anything to do up there. So what are people excited for that's imminent? Anything further off? You gotta temper your expectations, right? Like, I think there's a good chance that the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox, whatever they're gonna be called, they're gonna get delayed. I think there's a good chance. A lot of video game developers, I think, have already started to announce delays. So things that are like fall and winter, it's gonna be hard for those to hit those targets. But imminent things, like people are seeing the Black Widow wave show up, things that should have already came over, should have already gone into distribution houses. What are you excited for? What are you excited to see? Almost everything that I have outstanding, I think, has probably been delayed. All Hot Toys I'm waiting on have been delayed because they couldn't leave China. Ultra Instinct Goku figure arts, I'm excited for that. I think I saw that. I mean, I know I saw, but I don't know the details. I didn't pay attention. That Tamashii Nations is, in essence, going to create their own Hasbro Pulse or Bluefin. They're going to use Bluefin like Hasbro Pulse. They bought Bluefin. And there's not going to be web exclusives or Japan only or Asia only figure arts that retailers can get anymore. Like if you use Toy Ninja, well, I don't think he does it anymore, but anyone like that, they won't be able to get them anymore. You'll have to buy them like through Hasbro Pulse type thing on Bluefin. I think I saw that because there was like a ripped shirt Jiren that they were talking about. I don't know if I'll be doing any of that. Oh, safety. Oh, no. 3.75 Mando. Is that a recently out? I've never seen a 3 3/4 Mando yet. Oh, Egg Attack Hulkbuster. I've always wanted. I think there was the Age of Ultron Egg Attack Hulkbuster. I think. I feel excellent, Joe, about the Ravens trading for Calais Campbell. Joe. They got an all-pro pass rusher. Calais Campbell, by all effects, a very nice, like good leader. They traded a 5th-round pick. That 5th-round pick they got last year, or at the beginning of the year maybe, when they had a kicker, Vedvik, I think was his name. And maybe it's just been the beginning of this year. In preseason, so the Ravens had the best kicker in the NFL, Tucker, and he wasn't he doesn't kick much in preseason. So they had Vedvik, I think was his name, and he did really well in their first preseason game. He kicked he was like 3 for 3 on field goals. The Vikings traded for him in the first week of preseason, and they gave them a 5th-round pick for Vedvik. That pick is the pick they traded for Calais Campbell. So they got an all-pro defensive end, the Walter Payton Man of the Year, in exchange for developing a backup kicker for 1 week in preseason a year ago. That's tremendous. That's just victory. Tremendous move for the Ravens. And they put the franchise tag on Judon, so their pass rush will be much better. Very happy with that situation. Very happy. And I'm happy there won't be a strike in the NFL. Bear, I think it's 100% certain that they will push back the Black Widow movie. I think they're just trying to determine when. I think they've even said they're looking for them to move it too. I think Disney has said that. What's going on with the Hot Toys Guardians Gamora being so slow and delayed? David, it's possible that it's a right situation. So what I heard, I don't know that I ever confirmed this, but if you remember, the Guardians 1 Drax came out like long after Guardians 2 had even been out, the movie. Way after all the other Guardians. And it was because Dave Bautista would not approve the likeness. He kept sending it back. Wouldn't approve it. Apparently that went on for months and months and months. And I think they have right of refusal to tell them to change something. That's what I heard happened. And so that's why I got delayed. So it's possible that could be happening. There could be a rights issue. It could just be getting deprioritized. I don't know how Hot Toys decides their production cycle. I'm sure it has to be. We want certain things to come out at the right time with movies or close to movies so that we can make that money. But also they're probably paid more by Marvel says, hey, we'll give you more to escalate this. I don't really know how that works, but there's got to be some payola going on. Pull the trigger on the Mafex comic version of Spider, like the cell shaded or whatever. That one looks good. Oh, the 3.75 is new. Yeah. Beast Kingdom made a statue Hulkbuster. Oh, so not an egg attack. Okay. Beast Kingdom's made some good looking statues too. Peter B. Parker looks good from Mafex. Who knows when that stuff will come? Mafex already misses their dates by 3 and 4 months. Now that their supply chain will be disrupted, who knows? I think they moved Mafex Thor from February to May. They just went ahead and moved it 3 months. That's what I think. Somebody said. They are just notoriously late. Do I think Hot Toys will release the other Black Order members? No. Iron Studios is making all the Black Order. I do not think Hot Toys will. Just like they probably never make Cyborg. I don't think they'll make Valkyrie. I think the Marvel bubble has burst. Moved on from the Avengers world. And things like that. Villains don't sell well. They've just never really sold that well. And so, like, kind of generic villains like that, even though, like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'd love to have all of those. I don't think they sell enough to make it worth it, so I don't think they will. Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Snowspeeder. That's cool. I do not collect any Planet of the Apes stuff. I do not. Yeah, I like them too, people. I just don't think they will. I don't think there's enough money in it. TWL, you're welcome. Thank you for supporting. Excited for the new 40th anniversary Empire figures. Yeah, there's not been a lot of Star Wars Black Series news out of Toy Fair. There just keeps being random new things show up. Like I don't remember what it's called, but that new like blue and white game Stormtrooper, that thing looks pretty cool. It just kind of shows up. I don't know. Hasbro always seems to treat Star Wars differently than Marvel. I've never understood why it wasn't a lot of shared resources, but they seem to be different. Which game am I excited for this year? Video game? Is that what you're asking me, Kane? Video game? The current video games that I would be excited for, I was very happy when Nintendo teased Breath of the Wild 2. That will make me very happy. Honestly, I don't know of a video game I'm like super excited for. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested in the event Iron Man VR. That's one I'm excited for. The Avengers game, I'm going to wait and see. I will not pre-order it. I will not pay $60 for it. I think it'll get delayed. May get delayed to new systems. I don't know how I feel about them not getting the actual voice cast to do the voice acting. I know it's a home run voice cast in terms of traditional video game voice actors. But I think so many people, they don't like Tony Stark. They like Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. So I don't know. I don't know. But, I mean, the companies that are making that game are companies I typically like their games, so it's possible. Bear, I still play Strike Force, Marvel Strike Force, and I fiddle with the Harry Potter, like Pokemon Go game. Both of those I'll log into every day and do some things, but I'm not playing them active. Strike Force I play quite a bit. Other than Count Dooku, Black Suit, yeah, me either. Figure that huge. Yeah, you wouldn't think that they do a lot of 6-inch scale, 1/12 scale vehicles anymore because they've sat on shelves. That huge TIE fighter was everywhere. I remember the Toys R Us. There'd be like 15 of those things piled up. That was everywhere. So we'll go about 15 more minutes. That'll be a 2-hour stream. That's pretty good. And then I've got to try to decompress and get ready for work tomorrow. Hope I know the work tonight. And get ready for, you should watch Walking Dead tonight if you're a Walking Dead fan or whenever it comes on. I'm getting Commander Bly, I think, making those. And Westworld returns tonight, which I think will be wonderful. I mean, TV is about to get disrupted. It's not just like Black Widow getting delayed or other movies getting delayed. You've got most TV shows have shut down production. Most. I think Netflix completely shut down production. So, like, for instance, the one I know for a fact, Goldberg's, I watch Goldberg's and I watch the show Schooled. I like those shows. I think they're the only network shows I watch at all. And I think yesterday or maybe even last night or this morning, they announced they've stopped production right before the season finale. So that probably means up until the season finale, they have the episodes. But if this continues, they may just not even have a season. Who knows if they'll have a season finale? I don't know how that's going to work, just like we talked about schools. But so you're going to see TV shows also not be like new episodes relatively soon in some cases, I think, in the coming couple of weeks. Because even if like all of this magically goes away tomorrow, they still have to spin back up production, whatever. You know, their production schedule is going to be off. So there's going to be some TV miss. So think about like YouTube stuff. If you want to binge watch Netflix stuff, it's going to be a good opportunity to kind of look at the things that you've been on your Netflix queue forever. If you need some recommendations, I have some. If you have HBO, the documentary McMillions that just aired, fantastic. I need to finish it. I think it's 6 parts. I got maybe 1 episode left. I did not even know until last year that the McDonald's Monopoly game all those years in the 90s, 2000s was a fraud. Scam that you really couldn't win. That people were defrauding that game. I didn't know that. Didn't know. And it's a documentary about that. It's very interesting. There is the Aaron Hernandez documentary is quite good on Netflix. A lot of I'm a documentary guy, so lots of that. But there's a lot of good shows you can catch up on that maybe you've never watched. So if you need a recommendation, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. I'll try to give you one. Tell me the type of things you like. I do know that production stopped on like Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision and Loki. Those will probably be delayed. Ren says Mandalorian finished filming, so maybe that'll be on time. But I mean, that's still months away. I mean, things that would debut in the fall should catch up, but things that are imminent, I think, would be the challenge. You know, the stuff that would be spring debuts or early summer debuts. Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead, I know. Yep, that's right. I know that they stopped shooting this week. Bear, I've never spent money on Strike Force. It can be expensive. I just don't do it. Once I reach the end of what I'm allowed to do for free, I stop for the day. But I've been playing it for a couple of years, so I have a pretty solid team. Eric, have a good rest of your day. And that's right. It's a good message. Be kind. Lots of people are dealing with lots of stress. And even today, like more than you even know, like all of us think that our situation is the worst. And somebody's got it worse. So be kind to people. Mandalorian Season 2 in October. That should be fine, I would think. I mean, I don't know. Right now, I don't think post-production stuff has been interrupted anywhere, but it could be because a lot of post-production requires flying, and if the airlines get grounded, which is certainly possible, that is not unprecedented. It happened at 9/11. Who knows? Who knows? But again, I encourage you, try to make the best of it, right? Like, the way I look at it is I can try to eat a little healthier because I'm home. I don't want to go to McDonald's. I can be a little more active, take walks around the house, go to the basketball court, whatever. I can catch up on stuff I've been meaning to catch up on. I can read more comics. Things that get interrupted by the random hunting, go to Walmart, conventions, movies, whatever. You can get back to some of that stuff that you've probably had piling up that you've already spent money on, especially if you got a big comic stack like me. Do that. I got bored. We still have board game night, TWL. In fact, my kitchen tables, if you can see, it has a little ridge right there. I have all type of accessories that plug in to turn it to like hold your cards or your dice or like a glass or a bottle. And you can take the top, like if you see here how it's white, that comes off, and there's a felt underneath, and then also underneath the felt is a plexiglass. So like if you need to put like a dungeon map, if you're playing D&D, you could write on it on the plexiglass and erase it, or the felt for the cards or whatever. So we have a game. I don't think I've ever. Well, I did have where we played D&D with my sisters and brother-in-law, but like full game night where we have a bunch of people over here, I would never show that because that group of friends is not the group of friends you see. I have lots of different groups of friends, and sometimes they cross over. So for instance, David is a friend group that is different than the Steve friend group. Steve is actually closer to the Drew friend group. But even that, I have a different group of circle with friends with Steve. Like the Royal Rumble episode of Double Life that a lot of people like, where I get shot in the face with a bidet, that is the very first time Steve or Drew met David. They had never met him before that night. They didn't know who he was because it's a different group. So I have my growing up friends that Steve and Drew are part of. I have my toy, quote unquote, friends. That's like David or Adonis, or like Josh and Cody, and the people you see on the video the most that are in the hobby with me. And then I have the local Atlanta friends. That's Damien, who also does toys. But then there's a whole, every once in a while you might see the Atlanta friends. That's where my older sister Kim and her husband Mike, if I'm hanging out with them, it's usually more with the local friends in Atlanta. Names like Jenna and Megan and Widge and Joe and Amy and Lee and Andrew, people that you only fleetingly seen every once in a while, the New Year's party or a Halloween party. Eric, Peter, lots of people in that group of friends. So, and then there's other groups beyond that, like people that I've become friends with through the workplace or whatever. So, game night, when I host game night, is not typically with a group of friends that you're used to seeing on screen or that has told me they don't mind being on screen and into that thing. So I don't show them. They may not care, but you don't always want to just stick a camera in somebody's face. So, but we do have game nights quite a bit, actually. Grubhub, a message from CEO. You know how when it's Black Friday, you learn how many companies have your email address because you get everybody's Black Friday ad? It's like that right now. I am learning how many companies have the email. So I have a personal email address that I never use. I don't give out anything. And then I have the email address if I got to sign up with the email address, here you go, you get this one. But I don't use it for other things, like personal stuff. That email address, I have learned how many things have that because I've got a message from every CEO in the world about what they're doing with COVID-19. Just keep getting them. It's like Black Friday on that regard. Where did I get that table? It is a company called Geek Chic, and they are out of business. And it was very expensive. Very, very expensive. Let me show you, actually. I can probably show you a little bit if y'all want to see. Oh. So here are some of the things that go into it. So this, you could put like a, actually I have to show you. It has like so you could use it empty if it's the right size bottle would just sit in it. But there's also canisters. I'll show you that in a second. So this is like a little dice tray. And this is like a bigger tray. You see it's got slots. So like if, let's just say you're playing Magic, for instance. You could have like your cards lined up, or if you're playing Munchkin or whatever. And I'll show you how. If you see here, it's like the spring-loaded thing that locks it into place. So, pretty simple actually. You just put it there, and there you go. See how that's there? So I have a bunch of different pieces like that, so that you can play. Let me show you a little canister. So with this one, right, it has this, you can put the canister in it, and then you see I've got dice in there. But it's got a lot of flexibility. And then let me see if I can show you the table. This is like a suction cup device. Put it on there. Oh. And once you lift it up, so you see you can take the thing out. In fact, I'll show you. So you can disassemble it like that. Oh. And then here is the felt. You see that? And that's the company that made it, Geek Chic. And then underneath there is, well, use this again. I want the whole thing to come out. You can see the other layers, plexiglass, and then the bottom layer. That's how it works. Now I'm talking to you from a distance. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, put rub it in the chat right now. Put rub it. Let me put it back together. There we go. And these are actually they're separate. So you can see they pull apart. So you could have one huge game going, or two different game tables going at once. So that's my transforming table, if you're interested in that. So Geek Chic was the name of the company, and unfortunately they went out of business. They were always at Dragon Con with a huge display, and that's where I ordered it from in person. Very expensive, but I do think maybe it's called Carolina Gaming Tables. They had a competitor that I believe is still in business. Yes. And you have to pre-order stuff. Here we go. I'll put the link here in this. So this is a competitor of theirs that is still in business. Carolina Gaming Tables. And they have all kind of different types. So if that's something you're interested in, you can have it. I think it's awesome. It's so you can use it for all kinds of things. And we really like it. So need to show off that table in a dub life of it. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, hopefully that showed off a little bit there, Willem the Great. But yeah, you're right. I probably should transform it. That's good content. Let me put that in my notes, because I got to figure out what I'm going to do in the next episode of Dub Life if I'm not allowed to leave the house. Let's see. What else would you like me to see me do around the house? So this would be Dub Life episode 75. I've got the next two already ready. But 75, what would you like me to do? So I can show off the gaming tables, open the horsies, and open Spider-Man. What would you like to see me do if I'm around the house? I need ideas for episode 75. I get stuck. Nerf stuff, drone stuff. Those are my ideas right now if I'm not allowed to leave the house. Yeah, Bear, it's awesome, man. Check out Carolina Gaming Tables. They're at Dragon Con every year, and I think I actually have seen them Bubba Fest, maybe one of the conventions in Tennessee. Maybe. Fanboy? I don't know. If Night of Ren's not seen them, then maybe not. I've been to so many things, I don't know where I've seen them, but they're cool. And very expensive though, very, very expensive, very expensive. And the plan with they also make way more expensive ones, or they had some that were 10 times the cost of this. The plan for these was, and you could probably still do it, is they were going to make shorter legs so you could turn it into a coffee table too if you wanted to. That never got made before they ran out of funding. They were a very small company that was hand making stuff. Play video games? VR maybe. Cream. What's up, Cream? I don't know. I'm not a game streamer. VR stuff could work though. I do need to play some more VR. Some Beat Saber. Play with older figures. I'm not going to play with a lot of figures, probably. I mean, maybe. A lot of Robert. Yeah, you thought it was a regular dinner table? Yeah, it converts. A lot of people don't know that. You have to be in the board game group of friends. Let's see. For tomorrow night, still going ahead with. No, there isn't an audience. It's Simon. It's like SmackDown. They've already confirmed that. It's in the Performance Center. Oh yeah, you're welcome for the Cody speech. TWL. That AEW show in Atlanta was awesome. I pre-ordered all the AEW figures and a little bit of the bubbly Chris Jericho. I think it's really good. Plum apart and play Battleship. Play some video games. More unboxing. I could show, maybe show some of my favorite comics. Most of them are going to be Walking Dead, though. I do have some really cool Thor ones that I've been picking up. Carolina Gaming Tables, the link, not a run. I don't know where I know they're always a Dragon Con. I don't know where else I've seen them. That's the only company I know of that's still making this kind of stuff. Yeah, and $2,000 is cheap. They were cheaper than Geek Cheap. That was not $2,000. It was more expensive than that. They are a very, very, and they're like heirloom quality furniture though. Like, never gonna break. Four Horsemen. Just now, an email from Four Horsemen putting things on pause. They're going to say their supply chain is interrupted, I imagine. Let's read it together. In light of the recent, so this is Four Horsemen, the company that makes Mythic Legions, also the company that sculpts like the Super 7 Turtles and a lot of your favorite things over the years. In light of the recent and expanding coronavirus outbreak, especially here on the East Coast in New York and New Jersey, Four Horsemen Studios has decided to suspend physical studio operations for at least the next couple of weeks. As much as possible, this move is to ensure that all owners, employees, and associates, blah, 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 we're going to keep operations going as much as possible remotely. Any current meetings, shipping schedules, or outstanding customer service issues are going to have to be put on the back burner. Currently, everyone involved with Four Horsemen is in this capacity are healthy. That's the good news. We like to keep that way of all possible. So they're basically saying indefinite delay. Could be a week, could be 2 weeks, could be longer. Not surprising. You're going to start to see more and more of that. Cologne collection in the next. Have I not shown the Cologne collection, Joey? That's a good idea, actually. Cologne collection. I will probably forget to call out the names of who's suggesting these. So thank you to all of you who are suggesting things if I do them. I will forget. I won't be able to remember. I'm sorry. Am I okay? What are you talking about? Talking about looking at my phone? Yeah, I got to work, man. I have not stopped. Yeah, I've got 100 things going on. This is not easy, actually, to be able to live stream uninterrupted for 2 hours. I'm fine. Dealing with work, man. It's hard. A lot going on. I was sad. It was, Simon. I was sad, too, but I appreciated it. It was a great ending, and I'm thankful to Kirkman and Adlard and Tony Moore and Guardino and all the people that worked on that comic because it was awesome. And the show's really good right now, too. More of the comic store. Well, Ren, I will if I can leave the house, but I'm talking about if I can't leave the house or I shouldn't leave the house. I will not be going to the comic store. I will be paying for my comics, but I probably won't go to the comic. Well, I may not. What would be my favorite moment or match of the Attitude Era? Ooh. Depends on what you're defining completely as Attitude Era. I mean, Mankind getting thrown off the Hell in a Cell by Undertaker is a pretty significant event that I remember. NWO, Scott Hall coming through the crowd, NWO. I'll never forget that on Nitro. But like some of the things I remember that I really liked in wrestling were, I think, technically post Attitude Era at the end, like Angle with the milk truck. That was awesome. The DX stuff with the Spirit Squad and the poop. That made me laugh quite a bit. Rock Hogan, WrestleMania. I don't know if that's still technically Attitude Era. I don't know. I don't know what the whole boundaries are, but those are kind of my favorite moments from that. I mean, honestly, Goldberg beating Hogan for the title, I popped huge for because I was a WCW guy. We're from the South, so WCW guy. Tutorial on some of the smart home setup. I've done quite a bit of that. A lot, Villain the Great. I don't know where I've done it. I think in Daily Dubs where I talked about my smart home setup, and I think in my most recent collection video I did, but I can try to talk some about that. But I feel like I've done that quite a bit. Maybe people know what video I've talked about that stuff. I feel like I've done that fair amount, but I probably have some new stuff I can talk about. Let's see. Comic collection. I don't actually keep a lot of well, that's not true. I have quite a bit of boxes of comics, but the only comics I collect are Thor and Walking Dead. Everything else is stuff I'm reading, like my pull, and I'll dump them. Really, I give them away. Like when I stopped reading the Turtles, IDW run, I just gave them all to David. Harley Quinn, I gave it all to David. I just gave it to him because he wanted to read it. I don't know. I mean, he may give it to someone else. He may sell it. I don't know. I don't care. I buy them to read them. But like collecting, I do have a lot of Thor and Walking Dead, so I can show you. I mean, it's not a very organized way. I mean, it's very, very organized. It's not it's just boxes. Looked up where Carolina Game Table is in the country over. No, Andrew, they're cool, man. Every time I talk to them all the time. I like them. Did I know Barbarian brother David Paul died in his sleep last night? Like the wrestler, the Barbarian's brother David Paul? I did not know that. If you were in charge of WWE, what would you change? Oh, a lot. I wouldn't. The very first thing, I wouldn't script promos. I'd let the wrestlers do their own promos. That's the first thing I would change. Vince getting with the bedpan was great. That is a great moment. Yes. Edge and Christian 5-second pose was wonderful. There's a lot of great things from that time. Backlash 2001. Rock vs. Triple H. The Inferno match. There's a lot of good moments in that era. I tell you what, though, if you're not watching AEW, you're missing out. If you are a fan of wrestling, older wrestling, AEW has been really good. They got some silly stuff, too, that I'm not a huge fan of, but a lot of their main stuff has been really good, especially Cody MJF stuff has been top-notch. Old school wrestling, old school good guy, bad guy. Really good. Recommend watching it. Jericho's been good. I haven't since the pay-per-view. I have not finished watching the pay-per-view yet. And I did not watch Dynamite yet from Wednesday. I just got back from being up for 2 days, the funeral and everything. So I have not watched that yet, but it's been good. And apparently wrestling's going to keep going, at least with no audience. I am a little surprised that both them and the UFC have not been forced to stop, especially as close contact as they are. But we'll see. We'll see. James, what's up, man? Can't watch AEW here. Oh, you only get 1 hour edited highlights. Isn't AEW on an app for international, Simon? Maybe Fight, F-I-T-E? I thought they had a partnership. Cream, have a good night. I thought that they had a partnership. Yeah, Lucha Bros have been great. I don't know, but you may have to pay for it, and it's something you don't want to do. But I feel like they had some type of international distribution with Fight TV or somebody like that, maybe. I don't know. And I feel like I've seen advertisement for some type of AEW on-demand something, I think. I don't know. The audience, that audience is strange. I agree. Oh, ITV. That's right, ITV. Oh, they only do highlights. That stinks. That's right, ITV was it. I have not watched Chernobyl, Willem. I want to. That's probably one I'll get to now if new shows stop coming on. I heard awesome things. I need to watch it, but I have not watched it. It's been a weird year. I've been focused on a lot of other things, personal health things, and not done as much just sitting and watching TV, that kind of stuff. So I just haven't caught up on things that I thought I would catch up with, and spending a lot of time with my family recently. I don't know the wrestlers pop up in between a couple and got double kisses, and right now I flipped the. I don't know who that is. Probably Orange Cassidy. Kryptonian, not that I know of. There's not like AEW Network. You've got to pay for cable, I believe. But I would check the Fight TV app, FITE, Fight TV app. That's where, before there was such a thing as AEW, pay-per-views like All In were on Fight. So it's possible that you can watch it there. I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, I've heard Hunters is good. I haven't watched a lot of shows on Amazon. I'm over 2 hours now. Well, what other questions do you guys have before I wrap this up? I've got to it's 6:50. We'll go 10 more minutes till 7 o'clock Eastern. And then I've got to do some other things. So what other questions might you have? I don't think does anyone remember the last time I live streamed? I guess I can look on YouTube. It's been a long time. It's hard to dedicate that much uninterrupted time and not have like other. I'm not going to live stream if people are here. It's not fair to them. So I'm curious. Let's see. When was the last time that I live streamed? And I don't know, you probably are seeing a lot of people that you watch live stream don't live stream as much because we're all just doing other things in our life. I can go to here. So this is the 21st time I've live streamed. So when did I do this live stream? It was, I don't even have a description at all. I don't know. August 20th. It's been some time. 7 months since I live streamed. Wow. 7 months. They're going good, Bear. Thank you for asking. I should watch Devs, DEVS. It's on FXX, but it's on Hulu. What's that about? Kryptonian. DEVS. I've never heard of that show. What is it about? Yeah, keep suggestions going for people. Things that are on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or whatever. It was, Bill, and that was the last time, the Sony Spider-Man news. Devs, I don't know that. If you haven't ever watched The Sopranos, binge that. Breaking Bad, if you like Breaking Bad and you're not watching Better Call Saul, I think the first 3 or however many seasons there's been until this season are all on Netflix. So you should watch that because Better Call Saul is awesome. Awesome right now. Yeah, Lock and Key I've heard is good. Zambo, thank you. Have a good rest of your day. What else? Twisted Tech Company involves death and mystery. Makes off from them. Sounds interesting. That's why I wondered if it was called Devs because it was about developers. That'd be interesting. The Wire. I mean, those are some classics, right? Like if you've never watched Sopranos, The Wire, Boardwalk Empire, in my opinion, Breaking Bad, of course, some classics that you should definitely watch. Kane, have a good one. Bear, yeah, West Wing. That's another classic show. I think I saw with Derek, not the most recent election, maybe the one before it, but it's been like for at least 3 elections in a row that Jed Bartlett would have won the election by some poll. Nerd Therapy, what's up, man? Mark and Ashley, you guys are you got a baby here any day now, right? Or any week now. Thanks for hopping in. I was watching your ECC hunt the other day. My sister got Tonks as well. That was like, had to get the Tonks pop. It was the critical pop to happen. And I know that Ashley probably felt the same way, it should seem like. Thanks for stopping in. Andrew, have a good time, man. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and then you have 2. This is an interesting time to need that kind of healthcare. Hopefully the children's wing of the hospital is not dealing with a lot of this, and you have some peace and quiet over there. Why it's called Devs. Character's name is Maggie in the newsroom. I know her. I liked the newsroom. I don't know why that show didn't make it, but I'm an Aaron Sorkin guy. I like the long walking dialogue stuff. Yeah, Tonks was really good. It's not often that you get a brand new character for the first time that's that critical, at least in my opinion, in an exclusive. Like if any of you are collecting, Andrew, have a good day if I didn't tell you that. True Detective Season 1 as well. True Detective Season 3 was also really good, Joe, with Mahershala Ali. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I hope so, too. We'll keep that in our prayers, Mark. What will we say? Oh, the NECA Loot Crate. So NECA bought Loot Crate, right? I don't know if you didn't know that. Now you know that. And so they did the Loot Crate that was the Spirit of Splinter NECA figure. And that thing's gone crazy in the aftermarket. And that was like HasLab, right? You had to pay enough to get it funded. It got funded, it got made. And now they've announced the 3 more Turtles boxes. And they've said it's the Mirage. So there's a comics box, a video game box, a Toon box. And if you ordered all 3 boxes, you get the Bebop in the bunny costume from the Toon episode. And there was like this window. So I bought the 4-pack. So they've shown the Mirage Splinter. They've teased that as Rocksteady for the Toons. So it could be Bunny Rocksteady, but Randy's also said, oh, maybe not. And we don't know what the video game would be. I say all that to say because it was interesting that Funko put out Tonks, like a character that was needed as an exclusive. That often exclusives are more repaints or different accessories or whatever. And I'm curious with NECA and these Turtles, are they going to put a character they don't release any other way in these Loot Crate boxes? Because you'd think the Shredder is a repaint, Bebop in a bunny suit, technically a reskin, the Splinter, translucent blue, quote unquote repaint. But the other 2, I'm curious because I think Randy said it won't be Foot Soldiers for the video game. It won't be April for the video game. I can't see it being the Turtles themselves because they've already been repainted once, the video game Turtles from the or kind of repainted and given the hoverboards. So I'm wondering if it'd be like one of the enemies, like Baxter Stockman or the Rock Soldiers, General Trag, somebody like that that's in the video game that they've shown or they teased a little bit, and they won't get a release. I'm not a fan of that. I don't want companies to do actual characters only in hard to get things. But they may, because again, exactly what Nerd Therapy is saying there. It's a really interesting way to do a box. Could be a strong seller. It also means they make more money because that figure that maybe was $20, $25 in the store, they throw in a pin and a keychain and all this stuff that has high margin. It cost them 10 cents to manufacture a keychain and it's worth $10. And then you sell like 60 or $70 for that loot box. And it's all high margin product, but it's the only way to get that figure. I just hope companies don't go down that path. I hope NECA doesn't do that because, or they just make it where they'll make as many as there are. Like it's not limited because it will be frustrating if there's key characters. I mean, just can you imagine if like the only way you could get a Captain America was through some subscription service, like any Captain America? That would make some people mad. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Josh. Are you chilling out with the pill out? But I would say if you like the NECA Turtles, go look at Loot Crate's website and look at those loot boxes. I think they look good, and I went all in on that, even though I'm trying not to buy as much stuff. But the NECA Turtle stuff. Those of you that know me know the bigger history of me. You know that the way I got my master's degree is I sold my original Turtles collection. A lot of it that was from childhood that I had a complete run of, like, I think from 88 to 94, I think it was, mock and loose. And I had a scratch that was AFA 90, which now is like pick a number, cost $6,000, $7,000 maybe, I don't know. And I had all of that. And I sold it all so that I could pay for my graduate degree because I wanted a better job. I wanted to do better things in my career. I didn't want to wait for someone to give it to me. I needed to make some choices. So that's what I did. And part of that was I promised myself I wouldn't go back. My promise was I'll build a better collection I've ever had, but I'm not going back to the stuff I sold because it is important to me to have that moment as a place in time that resonates with me, that encourages me to go further in life. And I want to offset that by then going back and replacing them. That's just important for me. It's how I choose to do it. But these NECA turtles are not the vintage ones, but they look like I'm in the Super 7 ones. And so, tempting me. But I'm not getting all the repaints. I have not been doing it. I'm not going to do it. Castlevania. I haven't watched that yet. The figures, the Castlevania diamond figures look good. Let's see. So concerned about the new NECA 90s turtles being Walmart exclusive. But I think we're all concerned about that. I think Randy did say that Walmart will put them online, though. No Walmart exclusive is what you want. Yep, I agree. It is. It helps them fund other things. I mean, there's a lot of, I understand, so there's a difference in me as a consumer, what I'd like to see companies do because it makes it easier for me as a consumer. I also run a business, so to speak, and I understand what has to be done as a business so that there's any products. And so I get it. It's the way it is. I think it'd be good. Struggling for content for Fun Life, being housebound, maybe another live stream to replay. Well, that's possible. I could do a actual live stream episode of Double Life if I don't have anything to do. I mean, right now I'm okay. I think I'll be fine. But if this lingers, it's going to be Double Life is me sitting on the couch because we don't create this content. Whether you believe that or not, none of this is pre-planned. I mean, sure, it's pre-planned if we're going to go to a con or we're going to visit somebody. We're scheduling that. But most of the things that happen on Dub Life just happen. That's what actually happened in my life that day. And there are plenty of things like that happen. There are plenty of challenges. I don't know if Steve's still in here. There are plenty of challenges that Steve has done that aren't on video, on any video, because that's just what happens in day-to-day life. So I just film whatever we do when I decide I want to film. That's what's the behind the scenes of Double Life? I decide, all right, today's the day I'm going to start filming. I'm going to film for the next X days, however long I want that to be. And whatever happens, I'm going to show it. It's kind of all that I do. And now it's a ridiculous amount of work, especially editing and going through all the footage, but fairly simple. So the fact that if I don't do much of anything, because honestly, I am perfectly content with laying on a couch and getting caught up on all these shows we're talking about. That wouldn't bother me one bit. I don't ever get to do that. Reading comics. So I will have to manufacture a little bit of content. Not saying it'd be fake, but I'll have to choose to do things that I might not would have chosen to do otherwise. So we'll see. Ain't gonna be a 2-hour episode for a while, though. Not during all this. I can promise that. I'll try to get to an hour if I can. And now I've gone over my time again at 7:02. I can't go much longer because I got to get ready for Westworld. Westworld's at 9 o'clock, and I got to get ready. I probably need to rewatch the finale of last season, which I think was a 90-minute episode. I got to feed the fishies. Got to make dinner, some ham, going ham on some ham, and hopefully go to bed by 10, right after Westworld ends, so that I can face whatever happens in the morning for work. But I could just live stream an entire episode. That would be an interesting way to do it. What if I had the TT? I don't know. Yeah, Justified. I need to watch that. But, all right. We'll just go for a little bit longer. Any final questions? Anything you want? Anything you need? Tomorrow's Monday Motivation, which not very many people watch those, I know. But tomorrow's Monday Motivation was recorded right after I found out my grandmother died. And it has a story that I wanted to share about my grandfather that I wanted to make sure it was captured somehow digitally and in a way that when I am not here anymore, other people could hear and be inspired from. So I would appreciate it if you would watch that episode tomorrow, just so people can see and hear about the legacy of my grandmother and grandfather. But I'll try. I mean, I may do some other live streams. I can't promise during the week because my weekdays have been really crazy with work. Basically, wake up, work, go to sleep is what it's been. Hopefully, it'll chill out a little bit this week, but can't promise. You know, we know it's a hard time. A lot of people saying good night. Live stream, watching my first few episodes. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Reaction to certain episodes. I've also thought about premiering an episode of Dub Life, but they're so long, and I don't think most people just sit down at noon Eastern or whatever time it airs for you and watch it straight through right away. I don't think that's what people do. You watch it. A lot of people I know get their family together and watch it. You watch it broken up, 15 minutes each day, whatever. So, like, I don't want to say it's going to be a premiere. And I just sit there by myself for 2 hours because I've committed to a premiere. So I've thought about that. If that's a thing you're interested in, give some comments, feedback, that kind of stuff. I encourage you, try to listen to whoever those sources that you trust are while we're in the middle of all of this. Stay off Twitter, stay off social media. Don't let social media shape your opinion of what's going on. Read like academic stuff. Read what the CDC themselves are posting, or just not what Carrot Sticks 92 says. Carrot Sticks 92 don't know what they're talking about, right? They don't know. There are very few people. When we're talking about a virus that we didn't know existed until whenever, relatively recently, even if that recently was a couple years ago, it's been recent. Nobody knows what they're talking about except for a very select few people. So Twitter's bad right now. Bad. It's doomed. Stick to what the people you trust and listen to the advice being given to you, right? And this is not, don't make it political. Don't make it about the economy. Focus on what do you need to do for your household. It's not the news. Read. The best advice I can give you is read things that are coming from government websites, nonprofit websites, people that cannot be monetizing this, right? If the CDC or the World Health Organization or whoever, if they post an article with best practices, they ain't getting paid a Google ad click for that. They're doing it because they're trying to make people informed. I know it's harder because you got to sit there and read and digest, and we don't live in that society anymore where people want somebody to tell you the reason that this can work, that just this random guy talking on a live stream about a whole bunch of nothing, the reason that it can even work is because a lot of people aren't looking to read and get their own information anymore. And I get it. That's fine. I'm grateful that you're all here. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, generally speaking, the reason that if PewDiePie goes on, that 2 million people watch him play the games, a lot of those 2 million people probably are not going to the CDC website to read and research for themselves what's going on. So try to inform yourself, but really focus on you. What is going on in your life with your job and your employer and your family, right? In my situation, I am directly connected to several people that are at highest risk for this, either by their age or their immuno situation. I am directly in contact with them, the people I love. So even if I think whatever, if I think this is a hoax, none of this is existing, am I still willing to risk those people's lives? Not my life, those people's lives. That's the way I encourage you to think. How does it impact the right people around you? Try to inform yourself. I would be happy to talk to you if you have real concerns. I don't need 100 Instagram messages about is the world ending? But if if you're trying to vet sources and what to do in a situation, my work has me where I'm exposed to a lot of this information ahead of time on certain things. So I'd be happy to try to help, but just be wise, do the best you can do, and be there for each other. Notice the nice things. Notice the person that gave their toilet paper to the old man. Notice the people that are still supporting small businesses, even if they're not going in person. A thing you want to do in our hobby, reach out to an artist, especially a smaller artist, or a toy, somebody like Roma Collectibles that you guys know from Josh's stuff. Your favorite people like that, and ask them, can I buy from you online? Because I know you were probably going to ECC, or I know you were probably going to Toylanta, or I know you were probably going to A or B or C or D convention that got canceled, and now you have no revenue. That was supposed to pay your bills this month. I know you don't have it. Reach out to them and say, can I get a commission from you? Because they probably still would love to work. So I plan, the guy, Dan Doherty's his name, who I know he was going to conventions and he got messed up. He does a lot of my original art, all my poo stuff. I love his work. I'm going to reach out to him and see if he can do a commission for me. Purely because he just lost a bunch of income. Because when the conventions got canceled, his job got canceled. And there is no company to pay him. So artists, people like that you want to support, people that make, go on Etsy and buy some stuff off Etsy. Things like that. That's a way you can really support the people that you care about in this hobby. By finding out, is there a way you can buy from them remotely? Go to Roma, buy from their eBay store, or toy department, or places like that, I mean, and those, they're bigger. Toy departments are bigger. There may be like really small booths, right? Like your favorite random guy that was at the toy show. There's a guy that I have bought dioramas from in the past that goes to Toylanta and Joelana and Augusta Toy Show, all these different things. And I saw his post on Instagram. He said, I do not know how I'm going to pay the bills next month because all my biggest shows of the year just got canceled. So I sent him a note and said, I would love to support. What can I buy? What is there you got for sale that you were going to sell at this convention, and maybe we can work it out. So let's try to help people out. And again, if you're in a financially displaced situation, you can't do anything about it. If you're trying to deal with new expenses because your kids can't go to childcare and you don't know what to do, you're going to have to pay a babysitter, whatever. You're in that same displaced place. But if you are not financially displaced, you don't have a thing that is causing you to have new expenses, try to help folks out. Try to help folks out because there's a lot of folks that need it. And, a lot of your favorite people that do these things for a living, they ain't getting rich. Even like the big time comic artists, they're not getting rich off that. And if their revenue drops away for 3 months, they may not be an artist anymore. They may have to change careers. So think about that. Try to support that. Same thing with local businesses, like we talked about earlier. See if your local restaurants will deliver, whatever the case may be. If you're going to go to your comic shop, certainly do. Even if you don't feel like going in, tell them to hold your stack, pay them, tell them you'll pick them up whenever, help them be able to pay themselves, pay their employees. Because the small business is the ones that get hit the most, and they don't have a bailout. Even if the government does some bailout stuff here, it's going to be really hard to help small businesses. I know there's a lot of talk in the bill. We may see the bill tomorrow that may help some people, but that's my encouragement. So I'm going to go. I'm going to get ready for Westworld. Again, Walking Dead is great tonight. No spoilers. Don't spoil it. It's awesome. I already watched it. It was on AMC Premiere. But that's where we are. I appreciate it. We had almost 90 people, I think, for a while in here. So all my friends, Josh, Nerd Therapy, if you guys are both still in here, thanks for joining. And I'm sure you'll still see content. Go check out both of those guys put out a video very recently. Josh got a video out just the other day. Nerd Therapy, I think just last night, put out a video. So definitely go support them. And thanks for joining. I hope this helped you somehow a little bit. Don't feel alone. Don't feel isolated, especially on Instagram. Message me on Instagram. Hey, I can always pop some stories up there. That's easy, right? So let me know if you need help, if you're feeling alone. Reach out and talk to somebody. We're all going through this together. So thanks for joining. I'll talk to you next time. Now go ahead on. Now rub it on. That might have been loud in the action. See you later, Joe. Thank you again. I'm going to end my stream now. Bye.